So this isn't our official beginning. Good morning, if
Mm.
anybody's awake here, Disneyland time. Yeah, it looks like it's getting started. Um, oh, let's just play this real quick. You throw Walton, we got to jump in. So
Right.
Fate steps in and sees you through when you wish upon a star. Dreams come.
When does the magic happen? Huh?
that my voice.
I didn't know it was going to be that deep.
Oh, I know. I'm just gonna put
About our approach. We keep moving forward.
the volume down just a little bit. Hey, Muppets.
Well, a project like this is so vast in scope that it will take the cooperation of many people to make it a reality.
Your dreams come true.
That guy is cool.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna do a regular countdown, and we'll get started officially.
Oh,
Here
it
we go.
looks like we have dancers.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Very, very early morning. We are doing something new here on the DUTV. We are going live to talk about Destination D23. They just started. We're going to kind of mention what's going on here. I'll just play this in the background. Um, let's just. Oh, before we got some dancers. Look like the Muses. We'll get
They're
to that.
muses, yeah. They're
Uh,
singing. They changed the words up, but they're
oh,
singing.
well, right on. Well, we'll just kind of get to it real quick. I am, of course, one of your hosts, Joey, and we got some awesome friends here. I will start with the lovely Courtney from Neverland Clubhouse. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Going good. Going good. It's early.
Yes, it is. And also the equally lovely and talented Lewis from Second City Designs Waltz Apartment. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? It's too early, man. You're making me blush.
Ah, nice. And of course, we have down below our good friend from Where in the Park. Where is Kevin? Because he's just waking up too. What's up, Kevin?
I am still asleep, but I'm here.
Amanda
right
is
on.
here too.
That's true.
Oh, Amanda!
Amanda!
Hey.
I wasn't sure if she was gonna wake up or not.
It was
Oh.
it was a very tough wake up, but I'm here.
Yeah.
All right, and good morning, Jennifer. That's not as early where you're at, so you're in Destination D23 country. So before we get to audio and kind of going on, I'm going to have Courtney just kind of mention, if you do not know, what actually is the difference between Destination D23 and the D23 Expo.
Okay, so it's not as big, number one. The presentations are going to be shorter. It looks like this one is going to be about 45 minutes. And they're not going to announce everything. What it is they did this so that like they could do it every other, like they could have something every year. Um, and what it is, it was mostly focusing on the history of the Walt Disney Company and all of that. So it wasn't really supposed to be a big announcement thing. So the only in the last 2 years have they really used this to announce certain things. But I don't think we're going to get anything too big. What they do is they only sell a certain finite amount of tickets. So there's about maybe 1,000 people in that room, and they sit through every single presentation. It's not one that you get to choose which one you go to. You sit in this big room in the contemporary, and you go to every single presentation. So it's a lot different and a lot smaller.
And you end your night in Epcot, what it sounds like
No,
tonight, right?
yeah, they do have special events. It sounds like everybody there is going to get a ticket to Epcot, and so we're all thinking they get to go see Journey of Water. But they're going to have a night in Epcot, and they're also going to have a PJ like Halloween party tomorrow night. So
Awesome. Well, cool. I'll get to the audio here real soon. I'm just letting people know if I jump off screen, it's not that big of a deal. I'm just refilling my coffee. But and is this the genie from Broadway? I'm
yes,
okay.
one of them.
Uh, I'll just do this, and so we are on YouTube Live. So if subscribe, hit the bell, like, and I think we're on Facebook Live. So as long as we talk, I don't think we'll get kicked off. So,
I'm really curious to see where Destination D is in like 10 years, considering the momentum has been growing year over, not year over year, but every other year over
Yeah.
year. I'm really curious to see what it becomes if Disney utilizes it to become like a second footstep for D23 later on down the road. Because I mean, obviously D23 out here is slammed to the wall busy. That weekend is slammed parks wise. So I'm
yeah.
curious if Destination D becomes like as big or equally or even bigger since it is in Florida for the opposite coast D23.
Well, in the past, they've done it on Thanksgiving weekend. It's always been in November before. So this is the first time it hasn't been anywhere near Thanksgiving. So I do think maybe they're trying to ramp it up so they have stuff on both coasts. Because obviously these acts are great, that's going on right now, and D23 Expo caliber quality. But
Yeah.
like I said, yeah, they only sell a certain every like that room's not that big. It's at the Contemporary Hotel. That's not a big convention center, so
And
I don't know.
and yeah, and that's the one thing too that Disney World doesn't have over Disneyland is a big convention center in Orlando as big as what we have in Anaheim. So this is great. And oh, the muses are back.
Hmm.
But yeah, and this just brings out the demand people have for Disney, no matter how much people are complaining about it right now. So
Yeah,
when Disney throws a party like this, people will go.
people show up.
This sold out in like minutes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it did.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the volume up on this because come on, hero to hero. Is there a Hercules, a Broadway show?
That's rumored to be. Alan Menken did say he was working on music for it at the last D23. So yes. I think
Well,
it
it
did come
wasn't
out in Paper Mill in the East Coast. So
Oh, okay.
it wasn't Hercules one of like the rumored themes for Hyperion.
yeah, well, that's what they did, and then it ended up being Rogers, and then the Muses showed up at Pride. So
Huh?
they did cast the Muses, just not for the reason we all thought they did.
Oh yeah, for the Pride night.
Yeah, the Muses were at Pride night.
Hercules at Hyperion would be pretty awesome.
It would, except for the theming doesn't work.
That's true. And like I said, anybody feel free to chime in, have any questions, opinions. The the first main panel, you have the list, right? That we're getting?
Yes, it's the parks are the first thing.
Okay.
You know, it'd been really cool if they did. I mean, it's a wild idea, but imagine they switched the entrance and exit to the Hyperion to the opposite side, and then that back lot, they just themed that land to whatever the show was. So it's all like traditional Hollywood setup where it's like fake facades and all that, where they just themed it to whatever the show was and gave you like a temporary land each time.
That would be
That could-
cool.
Yeah, like the queue area, they can block it off, like you're walking through like a little New York or Hollywood style
Yeah.
downtown with stuff like that. That'd be yeah.
I think it is interesting that they just went from Aladdin to Hercules, and then they're going to go into the parks. Like, it's not a coincidence, you know?
Yeah, no, it's not. Especially since like Aladdin is a big thing on the ships, and they do have a big presentation on the Disney Cruise Line. So
Oh, that's true.
Hey, imagine the announcement that Aladdin's coming back.
Or
You know
Hercules
how
is-
many people would be so happy about that?
Or
So
Hercules is
stoked.
going on the treasure, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah.
But they already announced Beauty and the Beast to be on the treasure. So,
Oh, that's
and
right.
a brand new show. So,
Okay, I know nothing about the cruise ships.
right.
yeah.
Where are you gonna live?
Right.
Oh, I'm
Dude,
so
if-
addicted to the cruise ships, man. Once you cruise with Disney, you never go back.
Hey, if they announced that Aladdin's coming back to Hyperion, they must have been watching
Hey.
that Wednesday live show and said, "Here you go, Louis. Shut the fuck up now."
Yeah. All right,
Hey,
fine. We'll put
Michael.
it back.
It's
What an
Courtney's
amazing
friend.
opening
It
performance.
is.
Thank you so much. And welcome, D23 members. On behalf of all
How's
of
the
us
auto,
at
you guys?
D23 and the entire
Low.
Walt Disney World, thank you so much and welcome to Destination D23, celebrating 100 years of Disney. And we wanted to dial it back to a few heroic moments to tee up the celebration of the century. And I think that was the best way to do it with an amazing opening. So
That
thank
his
you so
pocket
much.
square
for
looks
being
like
here.
the Star Tours logo.
Oh, he always does
We
that.
are thrilled to be back here at Disney's Contemporary Resort. It's one of my favorite resorts here at the Walt Disney World Resort. And this is actually our 8th Destination D23. I haven't missed one yet. They just keep getting better. And I can't wait for you to experience this weekend. I have to say, one of my favorite parts of Destination D23 is to spend time and see all of you. And we actually have D23 members from all 50 states here today and 10 different countries around the world. Some traveling from Hong Kong, Germany, the Netherlands, Japan, and even Australia. So welcome everyone, and thanks for being with us.
Guten Tag.
Hey,
Special
Joe,
hello
can you make
to
the
everyone
volume up
watching
a bit
us
more?
on the live
Okay.
stream, who's tuning in. And
I know it
hello,
comes out
Mom,
kind of
Dad,
wonky
my
sometimes.
kids, my dog Remy, I know is
That's
watching as
serving for
well.
me. I don't know about anybody else.
So a special hello to all of you. And most importantly, we really want to thank you, the fans. You are really the reason why we do what we do, and the reason that Disney is still as magical as ever 100 years later. Now, in just a few minutes, we're
A
going to be
little echo
welcoming
something.
Josh tomorrow, and then I'm going to return to tell you about some exciting things happening throughout the weekend.
So
And with
Jennifer says, "Who
D23.
is this? I'm not
Can't wait.
familiar. This is
But
Michael
first,
Var."
I have a
Actually, I
very
like
special
Courtney's because she knows.
This is
from our
Michael Vargo.
CEO,
He is
Bob
the
Iger. See you in a few.
vice president of D23,
behalf of
and
all
so
of us at
he
Disney,
heads
it
and
is my
he puts
pleasure
on
to
all of
welcome you
these
to Destination D23,
events and
the biggest Disney
presentations.
fan event of the
He
year,
heads up the
and an
whole
important
department.
milestone in our
He's a very nice
100th
guy.
anniversary celebration. A century ago, when Walt and his brother Roy opened the Disney Brothers Cartoon Studio in the back of a Hollywood realty office, few could have imagined what the future would hold. From the first cartoon with fully synchronized sound, to the first full-length animated feature, to the first theme park of its kind, and so many other historic innovations, Disney has been making its mark on the world in bold new ways from the very beginning. Many companies have come and gone over the past 100 years, and yet Disney has stood the test of time. Thanks in large part to the generations of fans like you who have graciously invited our stories and characters into your lives. We couldn't be more grateful for our D23 members who care so deeply.
If you were here, it
about
would be
what we
louder,
create.
Sam.
Your passion and enthusiasm
Yeah,
are
hang on a
contagious. And I speak for everyone at Disney when I say you inspire us every day to constantly find new ways to raise the bar for creative excellence and exceed your highest expectations. We have an amazing weekend lined up for you here at Destination D23, and you're going to hear from some of the best in the business, including animators, Imagineers, archivists, Disney legends, and so many more. It's an honor to be part of this special company at such a historic moment and to have you with us on this journey. Thank you and enjoy the weekend.
I love that they're using the music from the Rocketeer.
Love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's an
it's
interesting
Iger 3.0.
point, but yeah, I want to keep it. I like to keep it simple.
Yeah, I agree, Josh.
But I brought fireworks and chickens and a confetti cannon. I mean, I set it down here somewhere.
Listen, I hear you, Gonzo, but I think Mika and the band, I think they're plenty.
Yeah. You know, Josh, whatever you do, I'm sure it'll be great.
Well,
The
thank
Electric
you
Mayhem
guys.
are coming
It
to
means a
Disneyland.
lot that you're here for this big celebration.
would not have missed it.
Josh, tomorrow
Josh, tomorrow, 15 seconds to curtain. Cue the band.
He's having so much fun.
Guys.
Or a window.
Thanks, guys.
He loves it.
Gotta be what I gotta be. Yeah. Ain't no time for nothing else. Oh, gotta be what I gotta be. Yeah. Makes no sense to fool myself.
Mika.
Yeah.
Sean, why are you up so early, sir?
Why are you not here with us, sir?
Mika and the band, everybody.
Thank you, Josh.
We're gonna have some fun today.
Oh, we are going to.
You know what's
have some
happening
fun.
here. We've got thousands of our fans right out here. And Mika, they tell me there are hundreds of thousands of people watching online.
Well, that means we got to do it big.
Let's
Josh.
have some fun.
Let's
have some fun. How are we doing out there?
I don't care.
Well,
if
good
people say Josh
morning.
is awesome.
What a week this has been already. I hope that you've been following along on our road to Destination D23. We just announced World of Frozen at Hong Kong Disneyland will open on November 20th. You got the first look inside our Zootopia land in Shanghai. It looks beautiful. And you learned all about our next cruise ship, the beautiful Disney Treasure. And listen, everyone, there is so much great stuff happening. And now we're finally here celebrating together at Destination D23. I know at these events, maybe you're used to me standing up here and doing most of the talking, but we're going to try something a little bit different today, if you're okay with that. I've brought some special guests with me who have some exciting updates to share.
Harrison Dula.
I also want to keep talking about the future, and I want to keep talking about our creative process. And you guys know me by now, there are bound to be a few surprises before we are done today. A few surprises, right, guys? We're looking forward to that? All right.
Go, Josh.
Well, as you heard, the theme of this year's event is all about our Disney 100 celebration. 100 years. Mika, and band, 100 years. This is amazing. You got to stop and think about that for a moment. And as Bob said, few companies have ever reached such a huge milestone. And what sustained us for a century is our commitment to creativity and storytelling for our fans. This is in everything that we do, And we all carry these Disney stories with us, sharing them with our loved ones and then passing them on. And these characters become part of our lives. They become part of our family story. For me, it's Mickey Mouse. I think you all know I'm a big Mickey Mouse fan. But for my son, it's Olaf. Cinderella's for my wife is what Rapunzel is to my daughter. We're from different generations and found those connections through different heroes. But the fundamental truth of a Disney story, it remains the same. When my wife and I see our kids fall in love with these characters, it reminds us all over again why we all love Disney so much. It's our connection to these stories that binds us together. Because there is so much power in a story well told, and no one tells stories like Disney. Now, I love hearing your stories. And recently, I met a guest and her fiance right here at Walt Disney World. And they told me they had just gotten engaged aboard one of our cruise ships. Then they're planning their wedding for
if
this
Sean was still
February at
watching,
the Grand
how
Floridian.
Josh was saying about storytelling. We got into that on
Adventures
Wednesday.
by Disney trip for their honeymoon.
Yeah.
This is their Disney story. The tens of millions of people who walk through our gates every year, they all have their stories too. And each one of you in this crowd today, you have your own as well. Now, the details may change from person to person, but we all share this fundamental feeling a Disney experience gives us. You know what we call that? We call that magic. Mm-hmm. Maybe you still remember your first ride on Dumbo when you were young, and decades later, you sat with your own child, maybe on that very same elephant. Maybe you chart the growth of your kids as they get old enough for Slinky Dog Dash, and you're on to Space Mountain, and then you're on Tron. Maybe you and your friends return at the same time, year after year, because it's through Disney that you stay connected to one another's lives. That's why these big anniversary celebrations are so important to me and so important to you. Disney's all about moving forward, but once in a while, it's nice to reflect on all of our happy memories. I can give you one more of mine, and I just told somebody this story the other day. I can still picture, to this day, standing up here on the stage, my first ride as a kid
Feel
on
free to
Peter
come in,
Pan's
Sean.
Flight at Disneyland. Anybody like Peter Pan's Flight? One of my favorite.
I like Peter Pan.
Every time I go on that ride, I'm instantly transported back to that time, sitting with my parents in that swinging pirate ship sailing out over London. And these memories are so strong because we share them with people that we love. And I can tell all of you this, we're gonna help you create many, many more memories as we head into Disney's next 100 years. And speaking of memories, I've been thinking about the last time that I was in this room with all of you. Some of you were probably here. Who was here the last time? Okay, so a fair amount of you. And if you remember, at that time, we were focused on getting back on track. And wow, has the team been busy.
Cannot wait to ride Tron.
Built so much momentum over the past couple of years, rolling out nearly 200 new experiences around the world. We opened 2 Avengers campuses, one at Disney California Adventure and the other at Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris. Plus, we reimagined 2 more lands at the Disneyland Resort. Earlier this year, we opened our fantastic new take on Mickey's Toontown. Who's been to Mickey's Toontown? If you haven't, please check it out. It is magical. And then just last week, we debuted San Francisco Square. Anybody seen it? Gorgeous. I especially love how this land looks at night, and I hope you all get a chance to get out there and see it. We opened 2 beautiful new resort hotels, and we refreshed over 7,000 rooms across our properties. Of course, we set sail on a glorious new cruise ship, the Disney Wish. I hope you're all enjoying your Wish magic bands that you have on.
They got magic bands, damn it.
And we unveiled 7 major new attractions, including Tron at the Magic Kingdom. And of course, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. We could keep going all night if you want, Mika. Anybody been on Guardians? You're just going to keep going. I can tell you what, so many of you have told me how much you love that attraction. I love it too. I'd recommend maybe 2 times in a row, not too many more than that. But guys, this is why I'm excited to share a surprise with you. As part of your special event at Epcot tonight, we've arranged for you to have Cosmic Rewind all to yourselves for a couple of hours.
Man, that's awesome.
I figured.
Drinks after.
It's all yours. Well, I clearly Mika and the band are excited about that. I thought you'd be excited about it. 2 times in a row, maybe 3. Take it easy. All right, Mika, thank you for that. So continuing this theme of the past 2 years, we premiered over 100 new shows of all shapes and sizes. We did it on stages, we did it on water, we did it up in the skies. We also introduced nearly 70 new characters, bringing you your favorites right off of the screen into the parks.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few weeks ago, that's
Ahsoka
right,
came.
Ahsoka arrived in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. You've all been watching the show? Yeah? Okay, my family and I are glued to it.
There's no Star Wars
every
fans in
night,
there.
and I love it, and we at the parks love Ahsoka as well. Which
Lewis
is why
only
I'm
likes the
so
50-minute
excited to tell
episodes.
you that next spring she'll become part of Star Tours at Disneyland Park,
What?
Disneyland Paris, and right here at Disney Hollywood Studios.
Ahsoka's going with her.
Nice.
And since we're talking about characters, you want to hear something else fun? Of course you do. We'll soon be welcoming another character, Asha, from the new Disney animated film Wish to Epcot, Disneyland, and Disneyland Paris. Now you're gonna hear more about her tomorrow if you go to the Walt Disney Studios Showcase. So please go check that out and stay tuned for more there.
This is 2 days now?
So proud, if it's not clear, of what our teams
Yeah,
have
no, it's always been
accomplished
the whole
around the
weekend. They're
world
just not
for these
streaming
past
tomorrow.
2 years. The team is daring to dream bigger and bolder than we ever have before. Over the course of this next decade, we're going to deliver so many great new experiences across all of our destinations around the world. And I'm telling you this, and I'm guaranteeing this, more attractions. We're going to give you more shows. You got a lot more characters coming. We've got more lands coming. And more things that you all can't even imagine are possible. Let me just start with one that I'm excited about, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, which is opening next year at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Now, as you know, we've been sharing a lot of our creative process with you for over the past year. Here you're seeing a look inside of the audio animatronic workshop at Walt Disney Imagineering. These folks are doing amazing work. They're hard at work on all the figures that we are just packing into this attraction. It's going to be such a great experience bringing you a new story from Tiana's World that picks off right where that classic film left off. You know, while we're talking about princesses, we just celebrated World Princess Week, and we hosted our first ever Once Upon a Wish party. This was a very special event. It was our biggest wish granting event ever, and it was right here at Walt Disney World. More than 50 Wish kids and their families spent time with their favorite characters, and they attended a royal ball and dressed as their favorite princesses. And our cast members from Disney Consumer Products, they dressed them up like royalty. I have to say, it was one of my proudest nights in 25 years as a cast member. And we had nearly 500 of our cast that participated in the party. And every time we're involved with Make-A-Wish, our cast go above and beyond to make sure that every one of those dreams really does come true. And I want to thank everyone, all of our cast members who were involved with this event.
Me too, Sam. Me too.
You all know this. Our cast, these are the real magic makers. And I love being out in the parks all the time, seeing them in action. And they have the absolute coolest jobs. I want you to just take a look at these photos. We have balloon sellers. We have candy makers. We have costume designers. We have pyrotechnic experts. We got Mika and the band over here. We have sign painters. We have folks who spend the whole year dreaming up new ways to celebrate special events and holidays.
Matterhorn open,
We also
1955
have
sign
our
makers.
amazing Disney Global Ambassadors representing our cast from all the destinations. They're here with us today, somewhere out here. I hope you all get a chance to meet them. Oh, there they are, right here. Look at these guys.
The ambassadors have a panel tomorrow.
So much love and energy coming from our ambassadors. Now, they also have their own panel tomorrow, which is going to be really exciting. Make sure you get over there and check that out. Now, all in all, there are 170,000 casts around the world who each deliver their own magic in unique and special ways. You see them every day. Today, I'd like to personally recognize one of them. This is a performer celebrating 50 years with
Hey, I literally just texted Sean right before that.
Now, this cast member has brought you Gonzo, Dr. Bunsen, and so many other favorite characters. Everybody, please welcome Dave Goals.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Muppets are coming back to Disneyland.
Good to see you, Dave. Good
They're
to
coming
see you.
somewhere, apparently.
First of all, welcome. We got thousands of our biggest fans here, so welcome to D23. Do we have some Muppet fans out there?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you got 50-year career. Where does it begin?
Well, one of the earliest things that happened was I was 9 years old and Walt Disney had a television series called Disneyland. And each week, amongst all of the stories that they told, they showed teases of the construction of the Disneyland park. Now, for a 9-year-old, this was just nirvana. I loved that place before I ever got there. And all I wanted was to be a designer of Disneyland. It was just, it lasted for many years, and I still love the parks.
I love it. Well, so do I. I think it's safe to say, based on the crowd's reaction here, the Muppets are more popular than ever. So what do you think it is that creates this energy and the Muppets pass on from generation to generation?
Well,
I have a feeling they're
what we
introducing
try to
Muppets
do
overseas.
is have fun, first of all, and we love the characters to have an internal life, and so we make sure that the characters are funny. We do our best to tell a story, but underneath it all, there's always a heart, and that's absolutely crucial to us. Everything is character based, and it comes from a feeling of celebration of diversity, enjoying each other, supporting each other, and we never say it, but that's what's going on underneath.
Do you have a favorite?
No.
Is that a fair question to ask?
Well, I love doing all these characters. They're all aspects of personality. I have like 20 or something. And they are literally a little part of yourself that you isolate and amplify and make into a character and try to make lovable. And so if I do Gonzo for a long time and then I get a chance to do Beauregard, I love to go to that place of myself.
So you're not picking a favorite, which is fine.
I don't really have a favorite. Gonzo's the easiest one to do because he's so free.
Hey,
He
the
can
Muppets
say anything.
being announced.
Yeah.
You think this isn't a Wednesday live?
I really enjoy that.
Let's be a little careful up here.
Yeah.
Dave, you know,
What was that?
you know that
I
obviously
said with the Muppets being announced, you think this isn't a Wednesday live?
Obviously, some of your closest friends. So of course, I invite
Mash
you
up with
to
Descendants.
celebrate with us
Yeah.
if we get up. Here they come.
Hey,
Oh, look at
hey,
us.
Josh. Let's get yeah.
Hi, on D23.
Hey.
Turn it back up, Jeff.
You guys are looking good. So Kermit, Miss Piggy, thanks for being here with us today to celebrate Dave 50 years.
Well, you know what, Josh? We wouldn't miss it.
Of course not. He's my biggest fan.
I am.
Piggy, don't you mean that you are his biggest fan?
What did I say? I adore Dave. He's the one who empties my trash cans.
No, actually, that's Beauregard.
They look the same to me, but who says so?
Probably
Look, I
true.
for this. I must go and prepare for my big musical number. Ta-ta!
What's the big musical number here?
I don't think there is one, but you know what? I better go and congratulations, Dave. I'll
Thank
see
you,
you later.
Kermit.
Bye-bye.
Here, Kermit.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Oh, boy.
Thank you.
Well, let's see how this goes, Dave. Congrats again on your 50 years.
50 years.
Yeah, congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
He's brought so much joy to the world. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And for me, that was super fun. And that's what this is all about, right? It's about having fun. And meeting Dave for me is definitely fun. I grew up watching the Muppets. It sounds like many of you did as well. He is an absolute legend in the industry. And I'm guessing, just guessing, Mika, that is not the last time that you're going to see the Muppets this morning. Called that a little bit of a hunch based on what Piggy just said. All right. As I mentioned earlier, there is incredible momentum happening throughout Disney parks right now. We are launching into a new era of boundless growth and innovation. Our future is full of endless possibilities with new stories and experiences coming to life all around the world, from Arendelle to Zootopia, and then everything in between. Now, I've asked the teams from all of our destinations to send us some sneak peeks into their works, and we're going to start with World of Frozen at Hong Kong Disneyland. As I mentioned earlier, our first Frozen-themed land will open on November 20th, so not too far away. And we've put together a special look at the land just for you, so check it out.
Hello from Hong Kong Disneyland. Today I would like to show you the night beauty of World of Frozen. I would also like to introduce Michelle, Executive Creative Director at Walt Disney Imagineering. Michelle, over to you as we explore this stunning landscape together.
Sure thing. Once you step into World of Frozen, the iconic Arendelle Castle will come into view. Beautiful reflections of the castle decorated with ice magic adorn the harbor surface, making it a picture-perfect moment. Next to the castle, we have the Arendelle Forest, filled with enchanting celebratory attractions and offerings. One of the highlights of the forest is the Wandering Oaken's Sliding Sleighs coaster, where you will discover a mesmerizing waterfall that seems to cascade from the melting snow, creating a breathtaking sight highlighting nature's beauty.
Deep in the village, you can find some of Frozen's iconic landmarks from the movies, including Elsa's Ice Palace atop the North Mountain's highest peak, the Clock Tower, where Anna danced with Prince Hans while singing Love is an Open Door, and of course, the Friendship Fountain, which commemorates the love between Anna and Elsa. Here, guests will be able to explore, believe, and be part of the Frozen story. We'll see you soon at World of Frozen.
Elsa's castle looks like Beast's castle at Be Our Guest.
Looks pretty amazing. Looks good, doesn't it?
It's gorgeous. But
That was the sizzle reel for it? I really thought we were going to get like a little more.
They've only got 10 more minutes.
Yeah, maybe I could do that. Maybe I'll think about that. Now, listen, in case you guys were wondering, those images are so beautiful. That wasn't a model of the land that you just saw. That's the real thing. It's like you just stepped into the movie. I had a chance to get in there just a few weeks ago. It is gorgeous. And that's the first time that we've shown it at night, just for all of you. Yeah. I think it's beautiful, and I think our fans are going to love it. Now, we're going to have more of those exclusive sneak peeks sprinkled throughout the morning. But I've also invited some special guests to be with us in person today. And they have their own great updates to share. And I thought that maybe we'd begin right here at the Magic Kingdom. Any Haunted Mansion fans in the house? I thought so. Well, at D23 Expo last year, I told you that we have someone special on his way to the mansion right here at Walt Disney World. And I know everybody here is excited to see the Hatbox Ghost, right? All right. Well, to tell you more about him, please welcome Disney Imagineer, Mr. Daniel Joseph.
Oh, he's the one that figured out how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to talk to you about one of my favorite attractions, the Haunted Mansion, and one of its most legendary residents, the Hatbox Ghost.
He looks like a Haunted Mansion character, kind of.
And also, that was very delayed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, guys, where have you been? You just missed Dave.
Who's Dave?
Yes.
You know what? Never mind, Uncle Deadly. It's always nice to see you.
Of course it is. Since you're here discussing the Haunted Mansion in front of all these people, Gonzo and I do have a question we have long pondered.
Well, we're on kind of a tight schedule. Okay. There are always exceptions.
Excellent. Our friend, the ghost host, says that there are 999 happy haunts, but room for 1,000. My question is as follows. Does the Hatbox Ghost finally round out the residential tally to 1,000?
You are extra spooky today, Deadly. I love it. Daniel, I think he's finished. You can answer.
Okay. Well, Uncle Deadly, actually, no, sorry.
No.
The Hatbox Ghost was one of the original 999 haunts, but left quickly after the mansion was discovered by us foolish mortals. For all these years, we've been wondering where he went.
Oh, did you check behind that giant stack of hat boxes in the attic?
Well, we didn't think of that, Gonzo, but we're just glad he's back and he's not waiting for any sympathetic vibrations to materialize either.
He's creepy.
He's showing up wherever and whenever he wants because he's not really a happy haunt. In fact, he's a very, very unhappy haunt.
No, an unhappy haunt. Yes.
Yeah.
Very clever, Mr. Joseph. Well, it seems we'll just have to keep looking for our happy 1,000 then, won't we? Any volunteers?
I guess
Maniacal
that
laugh.
answers that.
Maniacal laugh.
Thank you, Daniel.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Wow, Dudley, you are really good at that.
I know. You should hear
Hey.
my monorail spiel.
Thanks, guys. Hurry back.
We need
Well,
a Muppet
now-
overlay in Haunted Mansion.
Well, now that you know a little more about our Hatbox
With
host,
Deadly.
I'm fiendishly
Absolutely.
excited to share that you will see him for the first time in late November here at the Haunted Mansion at Walt Disney World. Here's a first look just for you. As you can imagine, he's been dying to return to the mansion, and we can't wait for him to arrive too. Since we're already talking about Magic Kingdom, we have some exciting news to share about something that's happening not too far from the mansion. My fellow Imagineer, Chris Beatty, will be up next to fill you in. And before we get to that, though,
The new
we have a
Encanto
cool
bathroom.
update for you from Disney California Adventure. Let's watch.
Hi, from Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure Park. At D23 Expo last year, we revealed that our next attraction in Avengers Campus will allow us to assemble
King Thanos.
superheroes from
King
across the
Thanos!
multiverse to battle King Thanos. For more than 2 years, superheroes from multiple worlds have been assembling at Avengers Campus to help train the next generation of recruits, us. Now, as the story goes, the Avengers are developing a new technology that will allow Avengers Campus to become the hub of a new multi-world mission spanning the universe. Thanks to the unique collaborations between inventors at Avengers Campus, the heroes have created a new vehicle capable of jumping between these worlds and even realities on planet Earth and beyond. The design combines elements of Tony Stark's time suits with Xandarian jump points and Wakandan technology to create a vehicle that can transport heroes to remote worlds in a matter of moments. This new vehicle combines portal technology and flight capabilities to maneuver through the skies, meaning heroes can deploy anywhere they are needed. And with a new generation of recruits like us to aid these superheroes, the multiverse will be safer than ever before. When this new multi-world initiative comes online, Avengers Campus recruits will be able to level up their training and join some favorite superheroes on missions to new worlds. We'll keep you briefed on your upcoming mission as all the details emerge. See you soon.
Sounds like the old Back to the Future ride at Universal.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like that, Star Tours, Smuggler's Run. That's kind of like.
Good morning, D23.
I'm just happy we're still getting a new
the
attraction.
band over here, which awesome. I love walk-in music, and I wish I could every day I could go to work like that and walk in and music would just play.
Go with you wherever you go.
Oh, all right, maybe.
Just take us.
Okay, well, look, I'm really excited to be here today. And first off, how cool was that video from Brent? That's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to jump on that jet vehicle and go explore the galaxy. I think it's going to be incredible. I'm excited to be here because, this is always a blast for us and to get to come on stage and be a part of this experience. So first, I would like to just talk about a few things. Number one being, Daniel just mentioned the Haunted Mansion, which of course was one of the original attractions.
Real quick, I wonder if that vehicle is going to be Disneyland's version of Cosmic Rewind.
There was a second attraction that's
Maybe not.
we want
I
to
don't
talk
know.
about today that also opened
No,
over
because there's a street.
Frontierland
Well,
at that same time.
it's not a roller coaster though.
What it is?
It's not. There's no.
Country Bear Jamboree. You're right. So look, we at Imagineering love the Country Bears as much as you do as fans, which is why I'm thrilled to tell you that next year they're going to be learning some new songs and performing a whole new act.
They're updating it.
That's
oh my
right.
God.
What? We're envisioning this new take on the classic Jamboree as an homage to the classic musical reviews of Nashville. To reinforce that idea, we've created this brand new poster for the Jamboree done in that classic variety show style.
not see
And
this one
spoiler
coming.
alert,
No.
each of you will be receiving one at the end of this session.
I
want one.
Now, when the new show
God, now
debuts,
Kevin
the
and
Bears will
Amanda are like-
reinterpret their favorite Disney songs in
Wait.
different genres of country music. Think rockabilly, bluegrass, pop country,
Good
and a lot
morning.
more. And we're working with some fantastic Nashville musicians to get that authentic sound just right. You guys want to hear a little bit? All right, so this is a video we captured from a recent recording session. Let's play it.
Okay, this is pretty badass.
Today we're doing Bear Necessities for the Country Bear Jamboree. That's a very revered musical attraction for Disney World.
Let's just play the intro one time.
We can do it on the one. We're turning the fiddle on. Drums are not in. Let's give this thing a try. We're rolling.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
At least they're not getting rid of it.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like they're preserving it, which is rad.
Oh my god!
Hey, I'm in.
This is awesome.
Is it still in the key of G?
I think so.
Hey, can you turn that little Joe?
Yeah. It's almost all the way.
Oh,
yeah, that's worthless.
Okay, so you can see why we are so excited about this one. The music is going to be amazing, and this show will still have the fun and friendly tone that we all love about the Country Bears. And with those famous characters, Henry, Trixie, Big Al.
Did somebody say bear?
Fozzie. Waka waka.
Well, you all know we at Imagineering love to conduct extensive research into everything we do in all of our projects. So please welcome our resident bear consultant, Fozzie Bear.
Okay, there's got to be a big Muppet announcement at the end of this or something.
With their bare hands.
I hope so.
So, Fozzie, you do know a lot about bears, right?
Well, of course, Chris. For example, what do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear.
All right, well, that's not exactly what I was talking about, but okay.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I can do this all day.
Yeah, but I don't think we can bear it. No? Oh, all right. All right. Well, Fozzie, I think we've reached our bear pun limit in this presentation.
Oh, okay. I'm so embarrassed. And that's my time, everyone.
Fozzie Bear, everyone!
He said he could do this all day.
I noticed that too.
All right, so since we're talking about the Magic Kingdom, there's one more thing I want to share with you this morning. It's something I am personally really, really excited about. And, at Disney, we're always looking at ways to extend our stories and to grow those stories within our parks. Well, we started working on something really exciting over in Adventureland that extends the story of Pirates of the Caribbean.
What?
We are developing a brand new tavern that some of the regulars might call Watering Hole, where pirates of all ages gather to tell their tales. And I hear there's a certain macaw that we haven't seen in a while. Anybody remember the Barker Bird? They used to be out in front of the pirates? Yes. Well, he's taken up residence here in a new spot, and he loves to come in and spin a yarn or two with guests. So it's going to be great seeing him again. Look, these designs are really, really early in the process, but we're really looking forward to where this is headed. And as soon as we know more, we'll run up our flag and share it with you. So just like Fozzie, I think my time's up. Now let's go from bears and birds to animals of all kinds.
Sure.
As we travel over to Zootopia Land in Shanghai.
They do have such a good
I know, cool. Then my friends Kartika Rodriguez and Scott Mowitz will be here to share a little bit more with you about Epcot. So thank you, everyone. Have a great D23.
Hello from Zootopia, the first mammal metropolis ever at a Disney theme park.
We're busy partnering with Zootopia's Department of Public Works, applying the city's finishing touches before all the mammals move in.
When guests step foot into Zootopia, they'll feel completely immersed as the city comes to life all around them. From lemmings heading to work on the Zootopia Transit Authority, to Gazelle's backup dancers celebrating Zootopia Day, we're using our best technical know-how to create one of the most innovative and alive experiences that we've ever created. Zootopia will feature an original, jaw-dropping attraction. On Zootopia Hot Pursuit, guests must rise to the challenge when their first day as rookie recruits takes an unexpected turn.
Using the latest in-show and trackless ride technology, guests will be whisked away on an out-of-control police chase they will never forget. We even infuse the world with inspiration from urban Shanghai, to immerse guests in a world that's authentically Disney, distinctly Chinese.
See you soon.
So real quick on Disney Parks Instagram, they're showing the concept art right away.
Yeah, everything goes up.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning. How's everyone out there?
Good morning, everyone.
Awesome.
The Hatbox Ghost concept art's pretty awesome.
We've been sent out to talk
I can't
about
wait
our
to see.
favorite park.
Yes, we are. So why don't we go ahead and get started?
That's right.
Right.
I know we're both just huge fans of Epcot, right? I think there's a few fans of Epcot out here in this room. Is that right?
Well, I know I'm biased, but I just love walking through the park. And those walks are about to get even better real soon. Would you like to tell them the good news?
Absolutely. We are so excited to share that the last of our 3 new neighborhoods, World Celebration, will begin welcoming guests this December.
Okay.
So Epcot is all about celebration. It has always been the people park, and it continues on as a celebration of our global community.
And wait till you see what World Celebration is all about when it's finished. We're really close. It unites the front of the park, which I hope you guys love, tying together these other 2 lands and 2 neighborhoods that we're talking about now, World Discovery and World Nature.
So speaking of world nature, I hope everyone is looking forward to Journey of Water inspired by Moana. This beautiful, yes. This beautiful new walkthrough trail will teach you all about the water cycle, and you'll get to play and become friends with water, just like Moana did in the film. We know you're gonna love this experience, which is why I am thrilled to share Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, will officially open on October 16th.
Oh, wow. I knew it would be soon.
But that's not all. I know you'll be excited for this too. Everyone here will get the chance to experience Journey of
I knew
Water tonight during your exclusive event at the park. Hang on, I have one more for you, one more. Because I can share for the first time, Moana herself is coming to World Nature too. Begin. Yes. Beginning October 16th, she'll begin greeting guests in our own new dedicated space near Journey of Water.
Yeah, that's great, right? All right. We've got so much more to say about Epcot in our panel later today, so we hope you'll stick around and join us.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Is there a Muppet coming?
Pardon me, but I could not help but notice.
Yes.
You have not
Good morning, Sean.
Part of the park. World Showcase, especially the pavilion in which I take the most pride, the American Adventure. Home to the glorious Regal Eagle Smokehouse. This restaurant, in my esteemed opinion, offers the greatest food ever served in the history
I have to agree with you.
Okay.
I like the fish.
All right.
I think they agree.
Oh, excuse me, Sam. Oh, hello, everybody. Dr. Bunsen Honeydew here from
Yes.
Muppet Labs. Sam, I'm so sorry, but I must disagree. The Muppet Brew Wing Lab is inside the Epcot Odyssey Pavilion, and it represents the pinnacle of this park's culinary concoctions.
I heartily object. The Regal Eagle Smokehouse is the heart of the World Showcase experience.
No. The Muppet Brew Wing Lab truly pursues this park's values of innovation and exploration.
Barbecue.
Pickles.
Hold on,
What?
hold on, guys. I know who can settle this for us. The president.
The president? He's here?
President of Epcot.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to have you here at Walt Disney World. Dr. Honeydew, Sam, great to see you both.
Your Excellence, it is an honor to be in the presence of the president.
No, Sam. No, I think you were expecting someone else. I am the president, but I'm the president of Walt Disney World.
Oh, well, I am also a fan of Walt Disney World and of you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Sam. I'm a big fan of yours. I agree. You both made some great menus. for our guests. So let's give them a chance to taste your work. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. So in honor of the Disney 100 celebration, 100 of you will receive a $100 Disney dining card as a thank you for being with us today. How
Well,
about
that sucks because there's thousands of them there.
Yeah.
my friends here would suggest you might want to use it in the Brew Wing Lab or Regal Eagle so you can help this decision. How's that sound, guys?
Yes, absolutely.
I find compromise insufferable. But your suggestion is a shining example of democracy at work. Let the people decide.
I concur. This will be a grand experiment.
Let the best barbecue win.
Or milkshake. The pickle variety is undeniably the best.
Pickle milkshake. Are you out of your mind?
Sam, it's so funny that you would ask that question.
Okay. All right. All right. Now that we have that settled, Kartika first, Scott, thank you so much for what you and your teams do each and every day at Epcot. It's amazing work, and we all love it. And you've shared some great information with our fans. But you know what? Sam was right. We haven't talked about World Showcase yet. So you mind if I pop in here?
Absolutely.
No problem. All right.
New show.
You guys may know that we're working
Yeah,
on
the
our
nighttime show.
nighttime spectacular at Epcot. You heard about that? All right. Well, here's
Yeah,
some news. The
you made
show
Harmonious
will
go away.
debut on December 5th of this year.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to hear the name? All right. Name of the show is going to be Luminous, the Symphony of Us.
Oh.
Right. Brand new show filled with fireworks, fountains, lasers, lighting effects, fabulous Disney music. Luminous is going to touch your heart, and it's going to continue our long tradition of amazing nighttime entertainment at Epcot. I cannot wait for you to see it.
I totally agree, Jeff. The show is going to be incredible.
I like Harmonious too.
And as you know, we're
did
fond
too.
of saying around here at Epcot, Epcot is always in a state of becoming.
This
We're
one just
constantly
sounds like
looking for ways
Harmonious
that we
is
can
like
enhance
Ugly
our park.
Stepsister. Like,
And
It-
we have a long-standing
what?
relationship with Chevrolet.
It
One of our
sounds like
corporate
they're
alliance
going to
partners
be
who helps us
Wait,
do just
we're
that.
talking about
Connecting
We're very
Chevrolet.
focused on innovation and the future of how we
Chevrolet.
travel across this
Here we
planet of
go.
ours. Which is why I'm so pleased to tell you that we're working with Chevrolet to once again reimagine the test track experience.
Ooh.
I know. We're reaching back into the history of the pavilion, taking inspiration from the original World of Motion and bringing that spirit
Hopefully
of
fixing those
optimism
brakes.
to this next iteration of test track.
I love it.
It needs to be updated.
So we know how much you all love this attraction. So I know you'll be excited for this. Test Track will open tonight as a part of your exclusive Epcot event.
Wait a minute, they were already working on it? That's crazy.
Wow.
So you're going to have it all to yourselves. I've seen the ideas that the Imagineers are dreaming up with Chevrolet for the future of this attraction, and you're going to love them too.
Oh, okay.
Kartika, many thanks to you, Scott, for being
John,
here,
you
sharing the
skipped
great
any
news,
to finance
and for
guy.
letting me join you.
That's right.
Sure thing, Jeff. All right, next up, Thomas Maslin will be here, and he will tell us all about Disney's signature experiences. But first, let's hear from our friends at Disneyland Paris.
As you can see, we are right in front of the gorgeous Disneyland Hotel. It's going through this royal transformation from the spectacular lobby to the luxurious bedrooms and suites. Let's have a look inside.
I think Disneyland will be last.
Stories and in the grand library.
They already touched on it a little bit with Tiana's. They might mention
The
Haunted
Royal
Mansion.
Banquet Restaurant
expansion.
is possibly one of my favorite
Or the
spaces in the
Treehouse.
hotel.
This is
Think of
already
it
going
as a
over the
grand
time they
reception
allotted, so I don't
with
know
four
what they're
different
going to do.
rooms, each of them celebrating one different aspect of royalty. And we'll be celebrating fan favorite stories such as Princess and the Frog, Robin Hood, and even The Emperor's New Groove. Look at the rotunda ceiling. It really is the centerpiece of the hotel. And it really summarizes its journey through time, through culture that Disneyland Hotel is all about. We cannot wait to see you all in Disneyland Hotel in 2024.
Oh, that's right. It hasn't opened yet. Because they're working on it.
We have just finished the backward copy system, and here is one of the few reports that we have just done. Elsewhere around the lake, we started the table service restaurant works, and we'll soon begin the runway.
Wrong.
Neverland.
Looks so much better than the light up faces.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Destination D23. I'm Thomas Maslum, and I'd like to welcome you today on behalf of our Disney Signature Experiences family. You know, through our incredible collection of experiences, guests can truly discover the magic of Disney beyond the parks. Because, you know, we offer unforgettable adventures in every corner of the world. We have magical ocean voyages on the high seas aboard the Disney Cruise Line fleet. We have guided tours across all 7 continents with Adventures by Disney and National Geographic Expedition. Our first Story Living by Disney residential community is set to debut in California. And of course, we have a beautiful and spectacular portfolio of Disney Vacation Club resorts. And I bet, yes, I bet, we have some Castaway Club members, some Adventures Insiders, and of course some Disney Vacation Club members in the audience here today, right? Give us a shout. Give us a shout. Great. Thank you all so very much for being part of our magical experiences around the world. But you know what? Today, we're gonna focus on Disney Cruise Line, where we are preparing for a period of growth unlike anything we've ever experienced before. Right now, are you ready for this? Right now, we have three new ships in development, along with a brand new island destination in the Bahamas on Eleuthera. And trust me when I tell you, there's some pretty awesome, great collaboration happening right now between our teams and some unbelievably talented artists and cultural advisors in the Bahamas. Because, you know, together we're gonna shape an experience that truly celebrates the natural beauty, the traditions, the artistry of this one-of-a-kind nation. And take it from me, with some stunning shoreline that overlooks vast, vivid blue waters, it's only fitting that we are going to call this brand new island destination Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point.
Okay.
And I can tell you, we all can't wait for our guests on board the 3-night preview cruise next year on the Disney Magic, June 6th out of Fort Lauderdale. These guests will be the first to get a glimpse at Disney Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. But of course, I have to tell you, we are also so excited, if you can't see it, to expand the Disney Cruise Line fleet next year with the debut of our brand new ship, the Disney Treasure. And I can tell you, the Disney Treasure, she will truly blend brand new experiences with the beloved traditions we know you enjoy when cruising with us. And there are several spaces we're bringing to life for the very first time on board a Disney cruise ship. And by the way, if you haven't had a chance to watch the reveal that we had a few days ago, we hosted it, please make sure you go back and you catch the replay on the Disney Park blogs for some pretty incredible details. But I do have a sneak peek I want to share with you today. Here is a look at the progress we're currently making on the Disney Treasure at our shipyard in Germany. And what you can see here is the Grand Hall right in the middle there. And this will be the central hub and the connection point to all the incredible Disney storytelling that will come to life on board this brand new ship. And take it from me, it's gonna be absolutely spectacular. But that's not all. I have so much more about Disney Cruise Line. How about this? The very first Disney ship to sail from Singapore and throughout Southeast Asia. This 7th ship in our fleet is currently on the way in Germany and will feature, of course, the Disney service, the storytelling, and the entertainment we know you love. But there is something you haven't heard yet. Do you want to know the name of the ship?
Yes.
Oh, you can do better. Do you want to know the name of the ship? Well, let's just say
The WAP boat.
on this ship, our guests are going to embark on an adventure like any other, unlike any other. So, the Disney Adventure is the perfect name for this magnificent addition to our Disney Cruise Line fleet.
That's a cool look of it too.
Yeah.
Aboard
Well,
the Adventure,
this
the
is
families
a ship
will
that they
go on
bought.
fantastic
So
voyages
something went
across the
bankrupt
sea,
and they bought the
experiencing
ship.
Disney,
So they didn't
Pixar,
build
Marvel
one from
stories,
scratch.
representing truly every corner of the Disney world and beyond. And that's without ever leaving the ship.
So
But needless
I'm
to say,
curious though, with them announcing 3
our
new ships,
biggest adventure yet.
I wonder if there's a light in the end of the tunnel for the original 2, because they're going on 25 years soon. So I wonder if they're going to be retiring some ships soon, and that's why
No.
they just double down.
No, they just move them around.
Surprise for you. Are you ready for a
Yeah,
surprise?
but I mean ships. I mean like cars. You put so much miles on them, they have to retire them eventually.
Well, they just updated the Magic, and that was the first ship.
Event registration
Here's
and a random selection. One incredible fan here in the audience right now will receive a vacation on board the Disney Treasure, the brand new Disney Treasure when it sets sail.
This is why you got to go to.
Are we ready to find out who the recipient is? Are we ready?
Josh D'Amaro.
Yeah.
Joey
He already
Pittman.
gets
Woo!
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Oh. Congratulations to Heather Motes. Heather? Heather?
Must be present to attend.
Heather, you have been, here we go. Heather has been randomly selected to set sail on the Disney Treasure. Here we go. Heather, congratulations. Congratulations. I'm so glad. And Heather, remember, Heather, you can bring up to 3 guests with you. Up to 3 guests with you, okay? Congratulations again.
Including the one on your shoulder.
Thank you.
Oh, she has a cute Figment dress on.
Wonderful. So great to see. Again, honestly, I cannot wait for all of you to experience the magic of the Disney Treasure, the Disney Adventure, and of course, Lookout Key at Lighthouse Point. And in the spirit of adventure, we have something very, very, very special for each of you today. And this is a beautiful print of this commemorative map celebrating the launch of the Disney Treasure.
Yeah. That's the map the media got.
You know, this is truly an unprecedented time of growth at Disney Signature Experiences. And I have to tell you, I could not be prouder and more privileged to lead an incredibly wonderful, wonderful team. But also many, many, many thanks to all of you for helping us to chart our course to adventure and magic. And speaking of charting adventures, let's check out the next port of call at Tokyo Disney Sea, Fantasy Springs.
That was a good segue.
Fantasy Springs will be the 8th theme port here at Tokyo Disney Sea, one that is inspired by magical springs leading to a world of Disney fantasy. It's comprised of 3 distinct areas based on beloved stories.
In Peter Pan's Neverland, where we're standing now, the area will feature 2 attractions and 1 restaurant. In the attraction, Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, guests will fly on boats and help Peter Pan and Tink rescue Wendy's brother, who's been kidnapped by Captain Hook.
In Rapunzel's Forest, based on the film Tangled, guests can board a boat in Rapunzel's Lantern Festival and experience Rapunzel's best day ever as she falls in love with Flynn Rider on a romantic gondola ride. Snuggly Duckling is a counter-service restaurant themed for the tavern of the same name you may remember from the film. Here, guests can enjoy a meal in a variety of indoor and outdoor spaces themed to the story of the lovable pub thugs.
And over in the Frozen Kingdom, the 3rd new area in Fantasy Springs, where the gates of Arendelle have been opened and guests for the first time are invited in. In Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, guests board a boat and relive the tale of the 2 sisters. And along the journey, guests will be able to enjoy their favorite songs from the movie, and the experience will be its own unique offering, differing from other Frozen-themed attractions around the world.
In addition, the Tokyo Disney Sea Fantasy Springs Hotel, a deluxe hotel with its own luxury wing, will be the most luxurious accommodations ever at Tokyo Disney Resort. And that's all for now from Fantasy Springs.
I'm going to the pirate bar real quick. Looks like it's going to be where Tortuga.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's quick and easy to find.
A lot of Muppets going on.
Can you picture? You don't have to buy a frame. Can you picture? Can you picture that? Oh, can you picture that? Use it if you need it, but don't forget to feed it. Can you picture that? Woo.
Animal.
Give it up for the band.
Yeah.
Give it up for Animal, too. Mika, you remember the Animal drum set?
I was not quite born yet.
Damn.
Well, I was born, and I had it.
That's fun.
I was terrible. My parents took it out of the house.
I think you were great.
No, I was not great, I can guarantee you, but I did have it. I started to play trombone, and that didn't get much better either.
Gotcha.
All right, well, for the next few minutes, I want to focus on the future of Disney parks. While I can't bring all of you inside Walt Disney Imagineering, although I would love to, I can bring a little Imagineering to you. Because as I mentioned earlier, I want to show you how these amazingly talented people go about their work. And I think I've got just the guy for you. Everyone, please welcome our Chief Creative Officer for Walt Disney Imagineering, Mr. Bruce Vaughn.
Ooh, Bruce. Can you picture that? Can you picture? See it in your mind. Can you picture?
That's good music for you.
I like it. Yeah, you know, we'll keep that going.
Just for you.
Thank you.
Bruce, welcome to D23.
Thank you, Josh. It's great to be here and with all these fans.
So good to have you. So Bruce, during your time with Imagineering, you've done a lot of cool things. You led research and development. You've been part of some of the biggest projects that we've ever done at Disney. And you've led a team of Imagineers. But you also spent some time outside of Disney. How did that time away kind of help you think about things as you come back to parks?
Well, you know, it's been incredible returning to Imagineering, and it's an honor, and I thank you for the opportunity, quite frankly. But I'll tell you, the most powerful thing was being away just reminded me how special this place is. It is amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. And now that you're back, I want to continue a conversation about the future that I started around this time last year. Now at D23 Expo in Anaheim, I'm sure you probably saw that we shared some ideas that were under consideration specifically for Walt Disney World.
Yeah, I caught some of that.
Did you see some of that? Well, I think by the end of that chat, we left some people really excited. Maybe some people were wondering exactly what we were up to. And by the way, I think that's completely okay.
Well, you know, Josh, I was actually kind of surprised when I heard it, actually. Because I think, as you all know, we usually wait until we get everything perfect before we talk about any of our big ideas.
Yeah. You do, but I've been challenging all of us to maybe think a little bit differently. That includes, you know, myself. And I want to use these D23 events as an open conversation. I see this as a chance to give some insight into how the Imagineers approach new projects and what the creative process is.
Oh, well, I love that because, you know, we do so much work before a shovel ever hits the ground. Ideas shift, stories adapt. This is a very, very fluid and constantly changing
Trying to get the lightsaber Imagineer on the shows.
You know that. But that exploration is vital to how we are able to develop all these great attractions.
Yep. So maybe we do some more exploring today and keep that conversation from a year ago going. So tell us about Magic Kingdom.
Well, when I came back, this was one of the first projects I dug into. And I had heard we had big ideas for this park, but I'm going to tell you all, I was blown away by the scope of what we're planning. I mean, this is similar in scale to things like Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge, or Pandora, the World of Avatar. I actually think this could be the biggest thing we've done in the Magic Kingdom, probably even bigger than New Fantasyland.
And it should be, right? I mean, we're talking about Magic Kingdom here. This is the most popular theme park in the world. It's been that way for decades. And to Magic Kingdom. I think it deserves the very best, and I know there are places in the park where we can bring
Welcome, new listeners. Let us know what you're thinking so far
about
some of the announcements.
Yes, well, last year you said we're looking to tell stories beyond Big Thunder Mountain, which is still true. I mean, there's a lot of room to play with around there. And we're looking at the possibility of adding new attractions, restaurants, shows. You dream it, we're thinking about it.
And like I said, the ideas are looking really great.
Now, I know everybody wants to hear a little bit more. There's still a long way to go, but I just want all of our fans to know that we are about to go into overdrive at the Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
And I am looking forward to spending more time with your team as we keep refining these ideas to create something really special that every
need
single
overdrive
person
at
in here
Disneyland.
is going to love.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And getting to add anything to the Magic Kingdom, as you know, is one of the most special things you can work on.
Lewis is
But
pissed.
add to it the size and scale of what we're thinking, and that is exactly what every Imagineer dreams about.
What is it? I mean,
All right, I'm going to jump to
just
another
10 minutes
theme
to
park
talk about
here at
what
Walt
we're
Disney
gonna-
World.
gonna do
because I
and
know
how we're
those
gonna
blue
do it,
sky
but-
conversations have continued for Disney's Animal Kingdom over the past year. So why
Maybe
don't
they'll
we,
end with Disneyland.
catch
Who
our
knows?
fans up and maybe give a little
Welcome to D23.
Okay, absolutely.
When we're
Welcome
waiting
to
for Disneyland.
Destination D.
Initial concept
Welcome to
Magic Kingdom,
Destination D,
that
where
was
they
one of
say they're
many
making
we
big
were exploring
announcements,
at the
but they
time.
don't.
And we've done some
And
deep
always
dives,
leave out
since
Disneyland.
then, and a lot more brainstorming. Many with you, you were
Yep,
there.
I was there.
For example, last year you talked about the possibility of bringing Zootopia to the park. Now we're still excited about that idea, only now we're exploring a new location to bring this story to life. And with that, I'm happy to share here for the first time, we're creating a new show for the Tree of Life based on Zootopia. Our
That's
current
not what I thought
concept
was
is
going to
filled with
happen.
humor and action, taking you into the different biomes you see in the film and some you have yet to see yet. We'll meet Judy Hopps, Nick Wilde, and my favorite, a fantastic Clohauser animatronic.
That
It's
looks
going to be
like they're taking out
Well,
Bug's Life.
I get to play with you guys all the time on this, and I've loved what
That's
I've
what I was
seen so
wondering.
far. I think you guys
Like,
are
is
gonna
this
love it.
on
That
the
looks like
tree
the
or in
same-
the
If
tree?
yeah.
Zootopia
No,
is
it
going
looks
to
like it's
Tree of Life, why don't you share what the
inside.
team's now thinking about for the future of Dinoland USA?
Because look, that's
okay.
the tree
Well,
that
as you know, we've
Hopper's
had
stand on.
Africa and Asia-inspired areas since the park opened 25 years ago. And we've done a lot to enhance both of those through the years. But we thought, big picture, where else could we take our guests? We're looking at reimagining Dinoland into something completely new. We're focusing on a region of the world sometimes referred to as the tropical Americas. This is the area around the equator here in the Western Hemisphere, basically the northern part of South America stretching up into Central America.
It's going to be in Kanto.
And
It's gonna be
we've been talking about how well this part of the world fits into Animal Kingdom, right?
Yeah, well, these are the most biodiverse areas on the planet, places people travel for adventure, exploration, discovery. It's a great fit.
So you know this already. I love where this is heading. How do you see this region meshing into the rest of the park?
Well, we're imagining a land filled with authentic experiences from this part of the world, with all of the placemaking and storytelling you'd expect. Look, it's a beautiful region to explore and has been the inspiration for so many magical stories over the years. We're looking forward to bringing all of that to life at Animal Kingdom.
Okay, so any specific stories?
Exactly.
No, we can't.
Mind?
We're doing this to make that to look like this. What is it?
Hey! What are you doing? We're not supposed to be talking about that right now.
Sorry. It won't happen again, Josh.
Okay.
They're bad.
They are bad.
Oh, they're good. I don't know. Well, what I can talk about is how we're diving deep into our research, and honestly, we couldn't be more excited about bringing this to life.
Yeah, I imagine that you're probably doing a lot of work on, casitas, maybe things like that.
Maybe a casita.
Well, I know every time that we've met with
Oh, I
the
thought he said
team,
casinos.
concepts
I'm
have
like,
just
what?
been getting better and better.
Hell yeah. Sean was right.
Guys!
It's supposed to be a secret, Josh.
You just want to do the whole show? I mean,
It happened again.
it did happen again.
This is how we're going to start pitching ideas to you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Name that tune.
Premature drumming.
Well, honestly,
Indiana
Josh, as you know, we
Jones?
are whipping up some
I
new
think I turned
ideas.
dinosaur back, Andy.
All right. Well, I know we're having some fun up here with all of you, but this is really important work for us and obviously for all of you because we are building on what makes Animal Kingdom so special.
Yeah, it is a special park. In fact, this is where we celebrate the value of our natural world and our connection to animals, and then go out and seek amazing adventures.
Yep. And so I know we're searching for ways to extend the overall story of Animal Kingdom. Encanto and Indiana Jones are two of the most popular stories
may
that
not
we've
have
ever
guessed it.
told. It doesn't feel like a natural fit for this park.
It does. You know, it all starts with the
We'll
foundation
have time,
of
Lewis.
Tropical America's region. And as we've been talking about stories from this part of the world, Encanto and Indiana Jones just rose to the top. They give us so much to play with. We have a long way to go now and a lot more to discover, but our team here in Florida is all over it.
Okay, well, that all sounds great, and I know this is part of a much broader plan that we have for all of our destinations around the world.
Yep, absolutely. Look, I came back for a reason, because we have incredible ideas for new experiences at all our destinations around the world, as you said, but stretching out through the rest of this decade and beyond. Disney, this company has such a wealth of stories and characters that we can draw and inspire from. And what I love is how the Imagineers can work with all the filmmakers to expand those stories and translate them into the real world experiences for our guests.
Yeah, and like I've been saying, this company has the absolute best storytellers. And of course, that includes you, my friend.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you back at Imagineering, Bruce. Thanks for being here and filling us in on Walt Disney World. We're going to have you back, I think. Without the band, though.
No, we need the band.
Nah, we'll always have the band.
Well, I speak for all Imagineers when I say we couldn't be more excited about the future, and I am really happy to be back. And thank you all. You're what it's all about.
Bruce Vaughn, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Take care, Bruce. Well, there you have it. I hope you can see our future is certainly looking bright, and we are proud to lead the way for this industry.
We'll have
When
time to talk here.
Theme
between
parks deliver
panels.
new experiences. That is good for everyone. But Disney charts the course for our future. 7 of the 10 most popular theme parks around the globe, those are Disney parks. And that didn't happen by accident. We didn't just somehow get lucky, because we invented this. Since before the gates opened at Disneyland in 1955, our Imagineers have been the cornerstone of creativity in this business. This is who we are. This is what we do, and we do it better than anyone. I have people come up to me all the time and say, only Disney could have done that. And you know what? That is music to my ears, because it's true. Just think about what you've heard today. New lands. We're going to be bringing you new attractions, new ships, and entire parks transformed. But we aren't approaching the end of the story by any means here. It's just the start of a brand new chapter. We are going to speed up. We are not going to slow down. We have, as Bruce said, the best stories. We have the most space to work with, and we have the most talented people in the industry. And over the next decade, we're going to have more projects underway than at any point in our history. Any point in our history. We are planning to invest billions of dollars in our destinations around the world. Listen, innovation is finally catching up with our imagination, and there's plenty of imagination left in our world. It's going to be kind of fun to do the impossible again. And all of you, our amazing Disney fans, you are the secret to it all. You inspire us every single day. Our sole purpose is to give you more and more of what you love about a Disney experience, and then surprise and delight you with things that you never dreamed were possible. Because a Disney experience, this is a story that we live, it's a story we breathe, it's a story that we all feel. It brings out the best in us, inviting us into a place where anyone is welcome and everyone believes in happily ever afters. This is a place filled with joy and wonder and happiness, where the memories we make become stories that we share over and over again. At the end of the day, my job is to give you a magical experience every single time that you're with us. To help you leave your cares behind and enter that Disney bubble that we all crave.
I almost want to start talking.
And believe me, everyone, I know how high your expectations are. And I wouldn't have it any other way, because I have those same expectations. All
talking
I
to you,
ask
Louis.
of you in return, come and join us. We're looking to the future, out beyond the horizon where dreams are made. I said earlier, we are daring to dream bigger than ever before. Well, I'm daring you to dream right along with us, and you will be glad that you did. It might be impossible to believe this, but your best Disney memory, it is yet to come. And listen,
No way.
our great, big, beautiful tomorrow, that starts today.
Oh,
So
okay.
thank you,
Okay.
everyone, for being here at
Yeah.
Destination D23. And of course,
Oh, I got
thank
my
you
own
to the
drum.
Muppets for making this morning extra special. Before we go, I have one last surprise for my friend Dave here. Get over here, Dave. You're obviously most famous for your work with the Muppets, right? But you have a special connection to another character who can only be found here at Walt Disney World. And this is one of my favorite characters. And I know a lot of people love him here too. I thought it might be fun to bring him out to meet you, of course, and to meet all of our fans. What do you guys say? You want to meet him? All right,
Where's
guys,
Sam at?
let's bring him out.
Sam, you're missing it. Oh,
He's on his way.
Woo!
Oh, he's even got his shirt on.
Oh, that means he's going to wear his ugly Christmas sweater in the holidays.
It's Figment, everybody. All right, listen. I am Figment. You're looking great. I am so excited to tell you that Figment will be ready to meet his fans in person starting tomorrow inside the Imagination Pavilion at Epcot.
That's cool.
That's good.
And you all are going home today with a special figurine of Figment himself. And in honor of this special occasion, I've asked our Walt Disney World Cast Choir and our global ambassadors to lead us in a song that I think speaks to everything that we've been talking about today. How about you all join us for One Little Spark? Thank you all for being here. I'll see you all real soon.
All right, D23, let's sing it together. You know this one.
Follow the bouncing pigment.
Little spark of inspiration.
All right, I'm going to kind of go down right now. Looks like this is the end of it. So I'll do it really low. So
Well-
I know we all got opinions. I'm going to get some coffee real quick, but you guys talk among yourselves, and let me drop this down for
But
a little
I
bit.
do want to preface it that I did say they don't usually use Destination D as a big announcement thing. Okay. So that's why they didn't fully go into any big announcements.
And
Did they
of
announce
course,
anything?
The Country Bears, nobody knew about. The Country Bears overlay is a new thing.
That's a terrible angle.
Zootopia under the tree of life.
Yeah, that too. Mhm.
Yeah.
But they
And
don't use this as a big an announcement thing. So that's yeah.
I like the idea of Latin America instead of the whole Moana and Zootopia area.
Yeah.
Dino Land. So
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with Moana being in there, but because they already are doing Moana in Epcot, so
yeah,
I wasn't thrilled
exactly.
with
It seemed
that.
kind of
That's-
weird. Like, why would you double up on that property? And it didn't make sense in that land either. But having it based off of a region of the world makes sense because they already have Asia and Africa. So to have Latin America makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And the re-theme of dinosaur into Indiana Jones makes sense too, because it is
Look,
Indiana
it's already
Jones.
it's already the
Yeah.
same
And
vehicle.
over at Disney Sea, it's actually based on Latin America right now. So they already have the theme set. They just plug it in. Then it'll be different coast to coast. Because the one over here at Disneyland is based off of Asia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they could do the Latin American one that they have at Disney Sea over at Disney World, and you still have the difference. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I get what
Louis,
they're
you
saying.
look like you're just pondering all of this, and I can see that.
All right,
I feel
so-
like Louis is.
The Brazil
Lewis
thing, I
is
think, is
mad.
well, I am, because like the Brazil thing sounds cool, but we know Dino Land. Everyone says Indiana Jones at Magic Kingdom is the dinosaur ride. So I mean, I'm Walt Disney World's not my home park, so I can't like bash it too much. But you're just gonna get a retheme, which sucks because we know how that goes. So in Encanto, you're probably gonna get a house facade and a meet and greet, kind of like Princess Fantasy Fair, where you're gonna get all the Encanto characters. So you're gonna get all this real estate because they're not putting an attraction. They were gonna put an Encanto attraction, they would have announced it. Indiana Jones, they really barely announced it because it's not it's going to be a reskin of the dinosaur ride. So for me, it's still cool. Like it's progress, but they're really upselling mediocre changes. Us as fans are going to enjoy it, but I feel like they're they know they're slipping, and you could see it. I mean, when the head of Imagineer came out and basically just said, "We're doing stuff, we're talking, we're planning, and yeah, this is happening." It's like nothing. Um, and not only that, they have a really hard comparison when they're showing Zootopia, they're showing Frozen, they're showing all that, knowing that hey, that's being paid for by someone else's wallet and
Yeah.
not Disney's, which sucks because guess what? You see all this, and those that know it aren't really invested in the Disney part because they know that money is not being allocated to those parks. That's someone else's wallet, which sucks. And they need to stop leading off with that stuff because then us that are fans here in the States and of Paris, and you see these mediocre changes, it's like, well, then why are you doing that but not here? And the Zootopia show Under the Tree of Life, I think I've never actually been there physically, but I think the Bugs Life story played well, being under the tree, all that. I think Zootopia has a lot of potential in there if they use it as a create a fun educational show. Animal Kingdom, one of the unique things Animal Kingdom had was its educational part. It wasn't it wasn't entertainment then education. It was the opposite. And now it seems like they're gonna start forcing a lot more entertainment versus education, which kind of sucks. The cruise ship is cool, but I mean, I've never been on a cruise, so I won't like talk bad on the cruise line. But I do know there's only so much ocean, so and there's only 7 seas technically. So anything more than 7 boats, I feel like is a bit aggressive. So how much can you keep doubling down on the boats? Where yes, you have I'm solo, okay. Where you have only shows, food. I mean, you can only retheme a boat so much before, hey, it's still a boat. So I'm not bashing any of the things that were shared tonight. I think they were all cool, but they don't seem like storytelling projects that they kept pushing. And I hope something comes out today for the Muppets because the Muppets were done effectively today.
Yeah.
The Country Bears changing it up, preserving it is way better than trying to redo it. And we talked about that a little bit on Wednesday. I think Country Bears, the style they're doing it, is absolutely epic. Ahsoka going to Star Tours, which was the few little Disneyland nods we got. Ahsoka going to Star Wars, cool. Is it exciting? Absolutely. Does that mean Tomorrowland is going to stay the way it is for a long more time? Absolutely. They were really pushing Ahsoka. I saw Ahsoka the brief moment I was in the park on Sunday. The sizzle reel they gave us versus the Ahsoka in the park, she's a drop. Like it doesn't. I mean, all the other characters really sell. I felt like her, and I know everyone's making jokes about it, but literally, it was take 3 steps, do the arms. Take 3 steps, do. And it's like, man, she really
So was she
didn't.
getting mobbed? Like, is that all she could do?
I mean, not really. I mean, because in Star Wars Land, they really do a pretty good job at like, hey, you got to keep on moving. So, but it was like she stopped and arms, and it was not even really doing a whole lot of talking. I'm not sure, maybe the voice she's like not confident in, but not a whole lot of talking.
Well, she hasn't been talking
and
very
so-
much in the show, so.
Yeah. I was like, it's like the Christmas wave, big wave, little wave.
Yeah, I've tapped out of the show, unfortunately. But I mean, overall, it was okay. But they're really banking on the restaurants. They're doing a lot of restaurant retheming. A lot of we have this new food experience, we have that new food experience. It's like, man, but attractions wise, it nothing really stood out except for the Country Bears. I think the Country Bears, they need to bring that back the way they're doing it in Florida. They need to bring that back in Disneyland. If you're
Yeah.
gonna lay out Critter
I agree.
Country and murder Winnie the Pooh, bring back those bears. And
Well,
I think they need a Muppets layover. I really do. I think Fonzie would be tight.
Yeah, I've had a Country Bear returned idea for years that we could bring it up on a future episode or something. But no, I agree. I didn't know I was getting coffee, so like if you touched on the Indiana Jones, did it make it
Yeah,
sound
we
like they
did.
were? So
Mhm.
did it, Were you guys saying they're going to change Dinosaur to Indiana Jones? Is that...
They already have the vehicle there.
Yeah, exactly. The same track. It's just okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, which is sad because I mean they really, I mean the rumors are gonna spread for a little bit. Indiana Jones, a new attraction's coming, and then guess what? They're gonna reskin it, and everyone's like, "Oh, so that's what it is." The Harmonious, Luminous, what is it called? The Luminous?
Luminous.
Literally,
Yeah.
it looks like, hey, we realized the big rigs were too much. We're gonna update the technology because even the concept art looked like the same concept art of I can't remember, Harmonious. So it's like, really? I mean,
I think
okay.
what they're trying to do is take Illumination, which was so big for Epcot and beloved, and then merge it with Harmonious and try and make a connection to both of those shows is what I'm thinking they're trying to
That's
do,
what it
and
sounds
why
like.
with the name. Yeah.
If they would have did that, they should have pitched it the way you just pitched it because that would have got the. And not only that, man, I had a bone to pick with those fans in there, man. Some of them were dry. Like they had to ask countless times, "Are you excited? Are you excited?" It's like, man, it's a very quiet. When they did the camera
I'm
shot,
telling you, it's not that big. They only have about a couple thousand people compared to D23 Expo. So this is very different from what we're used to being out here in Anaheim.
The similarity is no Disneyland news, though.
Exactly. Except for Tiana's, which is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall it was good, but I mean, even Destination D's report card, we've gotten bigger announcements at years prior than we did this year.
Not really.
I mean, was it last
What
year,
was
the year
announced
before?
what was announced at Destination D that wasn't announced at the Expo last year, or like the year before?
Just Country Bears, really.
No, not this one.
Oh,
the
gotcha.
last
the one
Destination
prior.
D.
No idea.
I can't think of anything. It was just a rehash or like a progress report. That's what this
I'll
is,
give you that.
really.
It was more of a rehash and a progress report, but this Destination D had more about the Disney 100. You would have think that D23 last year had more about the Disney 100 being ahead of the game instead of mid game. So
Well, we're actually at the end of the game because their actual 100 is October 16th.
That's when it starts.
So
We're end game.
So real quick, this magazine they're showing right now, the new issue, so beautiful. If you,
It's so beautiful. I just got mine. Beautiful.
I want to know what Sean thinks. You're really quiet down there, sir.
I'm just taking it. I'm just planning for how it's going to be on Monday, and how to contain Lewis on Monday. So, yeah, no, I've never watched one of these before. I've only watched.
They've never streamed it before.
This is literally just a. Like a rehash of what they talked about last year. There's a few extra things, but I mean, I don't know. I see that I do disagree with Lewis, and we'll talk about this on Monday about the storytelling part of it because they are trying to tell stories just in different ways than he's happy with, and I'll leave it at that. So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah,
you don't need to tell all your stories. You don't need to tell all your stories through attractions. You can tell it through shows and through the food. I think it's like you said, it's going to be a huge thing. It's a huge part of all that now. So.
Yeah, but I do agree that they could have made that entire Dino Land another Zootopia area
for sure.
here.
Yeah.
And they didn't need to put it into the bottom of the Tree of Life and take out Bug's Life. You know,
I heard a rumor about it going to Rafiki's Planet Watch that made a lot more sense.
that too, but that's where you
what I
have
first
the vet.
thought too.
Yeah.
No, but that's
I
where
thought they
you
were
have
going to
all the
pivot to that.
vets,
I was like,
so-
perfect, but yeah.
No, but then
But
that's where you have the vets. You got to leave that alone.
I am going to hop off because I need to get ready for work. So thanks. I just want to pop in. You guys have a good day. I'll keep listening, but you guys have fun, Lewis. I'll see you Monday, buddy.
Hey, sounds good, brother.
Awesome.
Bye,
And I don't know
Sean.
how we're going to be on. Courtney, what's the next scheduled?
Well, Michael Varga is supposed to come back on and give some updates about D23, but maybe some events that they're doing. This park's presentation went way longer than what they allotted. They only allotted 45 minutes. So it was supposed to be over at 6:45. So I don't know what they're going to do. I think they'll still go on track. So Michael Varga is supposed to come back out, and then we're going to get a panel about Iwerks, Oswald, and Mickey Mouse. So.
Yeah, I
Very
still
So
wanted to say I was surprised they mentioned Avengers Campus at all with the ride with Thanos.
I
I thought
know.
they dropped that. So
I did too,
yeah.
because
right,
of
they
the
did
shop
mention
that
that.
went in.
Yeah.
I thought that they dropped it. So.
So it's got to hear that they're kind of working on it, but they didn't really have like a lot more other than they have a ride vehicle, but they couldn't explain like
How it
they
worked.
explain the magic of it, not the reality of it. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
it
if
be
they could
cool?
do like Back to the Future from the original Universal Studios,
yeah,
I
Yeah, but
think
then
that
you
would
just
be
have
really.
another screen, though.
But you know what though? The cool thing about that screen though was like the Simpsons. It's a Simpsons ride theoretically. The screen
Which
it
is
has
Back to
that
the Future.
it has that soaring over California vibe where it's a screen, but it gives you so much more aesthetically. It's not like Star Tours where you're sitting in like a theater style and it's an obvious screen. Like you go up into a dome and so that. So I think it's a tad bit
it's like
different.
Flight of Passage.
I'll give you that though. It would be just another screen ride. Unfortunately, that's the route they're going to go because that footprint back there to do a line queue, a thorough one, and a ride. I don't think back there has that much space to do it
No, it
effectively.
doesn't. Because then you run into the space where they do all of the shows, like the Dora Milaje and all of that, and the Avengers Assemble show. So if you're gonna put a line there, then you can't really have all of the Avengers come out whenever you want and do a show or something like that.
Yeah, it would be rad though if they had like webcams on the ride vehicle. So when you pop in the video, you see like video footage of like the cats in Florida or the cats in Paris on like that same mission with you to play on with that whole portal jumping.
Interconnectivity, yeah.
But you
And
probably get in
maybe that was
trouble.
the original idea. They just haven't done it yet.
But I'm gonna hop off too. I gotta get the kids ready for soccer. I did make a comment in the Walt's apartment chat. We're gonna pivot our game plan for Monday that we had scripted for Destination D. So you'll probably all get a private message from me to see if you guys want to hop on because I want to deep dive this a little more on the show.
Awesome.
So bring your
All right.
popcorn and your opinions if you want to get
Yeah.
down.
Well, thank you for chiming in and joining us early on this Saturday. Like I said, I don't know how much longer. We might be on a little bit. Here's Ahsoka. I don't know what's going on, but
I think they're just showing stuff.
yeah.
Just clips.
Well, have a good
But yeah.
day, Lewis.
Hey, thank you guys. Hey, you guys have
Okay, bye.
an incredible weekend. I'll talk to you guys soon.
You too. Bye.
All right.
So
yeah,
Yeah,
so we'll
I
see
wasn't.
what
I
actually
wasn't
happens.
expecting too much, so I was.
Yeah,
even
that's what
really-
we got.
yeah, I was. Like I told Joey, I was like, I don't think they're gonna be as big an announcements as everybody thinks they are because Destination D is not that.
yeah, we're talking. It's like it's been a pet peeve of mine for a couple of years where a lot of podcasts I listen to and really good and really knowledgeable, but they're like, oh, I can't wait to find out what's going to go on at D23. I'm like,
That's not what this is.
yeah. But
Yeah,
so far,
there were
the
a few
stuff that
things
we
said,
have heard,
so-
what are you guys thinking though? I mean, add
Go ahead,
excitement,
Kevin.
especially to Disney World.
Well, like I said, I'm much more excited about the idea of a Latin America section of Animal Kingdom than I ever was about the Moana and Zootopia mashup land they were talking about.
Yeah.
So when they announced that at D23, I was like, no, no, don't do that.
Well, I just
So-
wasn't a fan of mashing those two things together. I was
It
like,
made no sense.
either do
Yeah.
Moana or you either do Zootopia. Don't do both.
But I
You know what I
didn't think we
mean?
need a new land based off an IP too. So I was
Yeah.
like, can we do something else? So I like that they went with something else. I like that it makes sense with the park.
Yeah.
And even when they said like Coco and Encanto, I'm like, well, Mexico and Colombia are very far from each other.
Very far.
Still.
Did they say Coco? I missed that.
Well,
when they
that was
did
for
the
Magic
big-
Kingdom.
Well, yeah, and that was
Okay,
the
yeah.
Big
Yeah,
Thunder
okay.
Mountain. Like, imagine Coco and Encanto and Disney villains
And villains, yeah.
by Big Thunder
Yeah,
Mountain.
I didn't touch on that. I was wondering if they were going to bring that back up as like, we're still
They
doing
did
this.
show it. They did show that
Yeah.
concept art, but they were just vague. They didn't say they were actually going with any of those themes.
Yeah,
They
it said
just
Beyond the Big Thunder is still
Yeah.
on the table, but they didn't go into like, we're serious about this. So
exactly.
I was gonna say the
We'll see.
Keyblade is the answer to that question on Kingdom Hearts.
them and their trivia.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know. what
But
to
I'm very
expect from-
excited that they're updating the Country Bears because
Oh yeah, definitely.
that's very good. So we did get a little tidbits of new information, but yeah, and we did get an opening date for Journey of Water, which we hadn't gotten that hard date yet, and that's
Yeah.
going to be October 16th.
I
And
don't get why it's going to take another month and a week to open the thing that's been previewing
I
for a month now, but
yeah, but if you look at the dates of the previews, I think the previews go up to that date or something like
yeah.
that.
These questions
So
are easy.
yeah.
They're not for us.
No,
No.
they're not.
Well, people in Florida don't know about Haunted Mansion Holiday, I guess. So.
No.
Right.
Mm-mm.
True.
But there's people from California in the audience. I know
Yeah,
there
true.
are.
That's fun.
It's not just Florida people there, but yeah, that's a small space. There's less people there than there are at the expo. So of course they're not going to make any big announcements. And Michael Vargo is back.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring up the volume
Michael
back.
Vargo.
And I like to say Courtney's friend, Michael
Mhm.
Vargo.
He
Welcome
does
back,
know me by
everyone.
name.
And wow, wasn't Josh's presentation amazing? I mean, wow. Thank you so much for being with us, Josh, and the entire
You can tell in his face, he's
Parks
like,
and
"You
Resorts
went too
team.
long."
And I also want to give a special thanks to all of our sponsors here this weekend, including our presenting sponsor, Lug. I mean, those backpacks, pretty awesome, right?
You're all going home with a lug backpack.
100 of
All
you
right.
all.
Well, we are just getting started with
And real quick, if you're still watching us, let us know what you're thinking of the
fantastic
announcements
things
and everything
coming
brought
up,
up so far.
including a celebration of classic Disney characters, a look at 25 years of Disney Cruise Line, a little Epcot. I can't wait for tonight, by the way, to ride Guardians with all of you guys. That's going to be so much fun. We're going to share a little bit more about tonight's event.
Figment look cool.
And even a celebration
did,
of
he was
Marvel's
cool.
Avengers. And tomorrow, we have even more fun lined up for you, starting with our Walt Disney Studios showcase and a celebration of 100 years of Disney animation. Let me tell you, both of those you certainly do not want to
That's
miss
not
because
being
they are
streamed.
full of some really great surprises.
Gotcha.
We're going to continue tomorrow with some amazing things and some
Probably
of my
nice
favorites from the
look
Walt
at
Disney
Wish.
archives.
Yeah.
And you certainly do not want to miss our Disney Plus Hallow Stream Costume Bash. It is sure to be a blast. Can't wait. Well, it has been an incredible year for all of us here at D23, and we're not even done with the year. We knew that this was going to be an important namesake year for us, 100 years since 1923, and we wanted to bring our Disney fans along for the celebration. So some of you may have already received the beautiful 2023 collector set featuring our Mickey Mouse, leader of the club, milestone statue. We designed this exclusively for our gold members this year, and I just love it. It's pretty spectacular. Also, gold members, keep an eye out for our special commemorative issue of Disney 23. It's our stunning and colorful quarterly publication celebrating 100 years of Disney. If you haven't received it yet, it will soon be in your mailbox. And since this was a milestone year and a special edition of this publication, we decided to create not one, but two collectible covers featuring Sorcerer Mickey. And who else better to design them than an incredible artist and the official voice of Mickey Mouse, Brett Iwan. So Brett, come on out.
Brett.
Nice to design them. It's nice.
Yeah, they said you could buy them in the
Thank you
bookstores,
so
right?
much for being with us here today.
It's my pleasure. And hi, D23.
This is awesome. You have such a busy schedule, and we cannot thank you enough for being with us this weekend. And I have to say, these covers are beautiful.
Thank you.
Really stunning. What was how'd you go about doing these?
Well, I mean, I've always been a fan of that traditional animation style. Something about the magic that comes out of the tip of a pencil has always been so appealing to me. And so I thought, how better to honor 100 years than by showing kind of, that rough animation that started it all.
It's so cool. And you know what? They actually come to life.
I've seen that. I've heard.
Using
And I've seen
AR technology, there's a QR code inside, and you can actually scan that and have your cover come to life, which is
Oh
pretty
wow,
cool.
that's cool. I
Well,
didn't know
I
that.
know that the second cover that you did, we're like, oh, we had to do something special, right?
Yeah.
We know this is really going to go down as a highly sought after collectible edition. And since we have our biggest D23 fans with us in the room today, I think we should give everyone a copy of that special one, don't you?
I mean, I didn't bring enough, but if you guys have some, I think that's a great idea.
I love it. All right. Well, everyone's going to receive a copy of this on your way out to lunch today. So be sure to pick it up. All right. So, Brett, I know there's also another milestone happening this year for someone you know very well.
I happen to know him fairly well. Really well.
He turns
Mickey Mouse.
95,
He's actually
right?
celebrating
I think
his
so,
95th
right?
birthday this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I know.
He's going to get to do the poster?
Amazing. So actually, these sketches that I did for the magazine cover were part of a bigger project I've been working on. They're kind of the origin of a bigger project. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with Mickey's official portraits that have been done over the years. It started in 1953.
Really?
John Hench was the first one to do it in honor of Mickey's 25th birthday. Now, historically, they've been done throughout the years by Disney's best artists and animators, including John Hench, like I just mentioned, Paul Felix, and then most recently, Mark Henn for Mickey's 90th. So I am really excited to announce that I was asked to paint Mickey's 95th birthday portrait.
Oh, that's so amazing. That's so
Something I'm
good
still a
for
little bit
him.
in shock of. I'm like,
Okay, what I missed?
He's gonna do the
yeah, it's
portrait
been an
for
incredible
Mickey's
honor.
95th birthday.
Oh,
Her voice
And he
actually
did the
amazing.
he did the cover
I'm
art
glad
for
you
the
said that
magazine.
because
that's
I
awesome.
thought, I mean, it's shocker, right? I thought.
Am I ignoring this thing behind me?
Don't look at that yet.
Okay.
What better place to unveil it than to all the D23 fans? So,
Oh, I'm
if
so
you guys
happy
want
for
to see it.
him.
I think that's just swell.
Okay.
See what I did there?
I love
All right.
it.
You really haven't finished here?
What's that?
You haven't finished and ready to show?
I mean, it's never finished for an artist. But
All right,
yes,
let's
it's-
take a look.
It's
All right.
the deadline approach. So here
Come
we
on,
are.
Brett.
All right.
Here we are. All right.
I'm going to let you do the honors.
Okay. You ready?
Come on,
I
bro.
hope I don't knock it
Oh,
over.
yeah. Here, let me
Oh, it's beautiful.
That's awesome.
This is so cool.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm calling it Swept Up in the Magic
Aw.
because, as you know, we're all celebrating Disney's 100th. So I wanted this milestone for Mickey to also be, celebrating the milestone of the company. As I mentioned, I love traditional animation. I love the magic that comes from a pencil. So the concept was starting with a single pencil line, transforming into all of the magical pixie dust, with Mickey focused on the wishing star, which I think, if you're anything like me, and you wished upon a star at one point, this is my dream come true. So, and he's also looking towards the future. So.
It's beautiful. Did you paint enough for everybody?
I only
kidding.
painted
No,
one,
no.
but I'll get, if you guys want copies, I guess I can get started.
Well, thank you so much for your incredible talent. And thank you so much for being with us here today. And
That's
showing
like
off
the
this
best
amazing
news.
art.
Yeah.
It's going to be on
Highlights
display at
for
the Walt
sure.
Disney Archives with the other portrait collection. So we can't wait. Thank you again.
It'll be hard for me not to go in and touch it up every once in a while.
Aw.
Thanks, Michael.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Brett.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm so happy for him.
Okay, on to some more fun stuff. Now, I know our fans love events, right? And
Yes.
we've done some pretty cool ones so far to celebrate the 100th. Some of
I
my
wanna go.
personal highlights have been visiting Walt Disney's hometown of Marceline, Missouri. I'm actually going there again next weekend. Anniversary screenings of some fan favorites like Finding Nemo at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We did an outdoor screening of Mulan where we actually had Disney legend Ming-Na Wen make a special appearance.
That's awesome.
And we even journeyed to the UK for the first time ever for a member exclusive screening of Return of the Jedi at Star Wars Celebration, London. Our gold members were actually some of the first to experience Tron Light Cycle Run here at the Magic Kingdom and Rogers the Musical at Disney California
I wanted
Adventure.
to do so many more events, but
They also got to
timing
take
just didn't
part
work
in
out.
some red carpet premieres of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny and Haunted Mansion. And just a few weeks ago, fan celebrations on both coasts for the debut of Ahsoka, which was really fun. We actually did our first ever D23 event at Disneyland Paris, celebrating the finale of their 30th anniversary in style. And in partnership with our friends at Marvel, we were able to bring the first ever real life X-Men Hellfire Gala to San Diego Comic-Con.
That looked
Our
cool.
fans did not
It did look
disappoint
cool.
on the green carpet, and I'll let these photos speak for themselves. Really fun. And in case you didn't know, the team at the Walt Disney Archives has curated a blockbuster, one-of-a-kind exhibition that is currently traveling around the world. Disney
Can't wait for it to
100,
come
the
here.
exhibition.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
there are two tours, one here in the United States and one in Europe.
This is the one
And
in
our
Vegas,
members
right?
were the first to experience the
No,
premiere
this one, it
tours
was
in
in
Philadelphia
Philadelphia.
and Munich.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah,
And in
yeah.
case you didn't catch either, in case you didn't catch it in either of those locations, we just announced that it is coming soon to London, and then it will also open on November 18th, Mickey and Minnie's birthday, in Chicago after it moves from Philadelphia. So I hope you get
Over
the
here.
chance to
Get
visit
over
it.
here.
And to help make that happen, I'm actually thrilled to give everyone here in the room a complimentary admission to our Chicago exhibit opening later this year.
Yeah, so you
So
gotta go.
details
You
will
gotta
be
fly to
emailed
Chicago.
to all of you in the
Yeah.
coming days. And stay tuned for some of our information about some D23 member preview events coming to both locations as well. And we're not even done. We have some more amazing events planned for this year. Now, you know, we love our Halloween season events and our
to go to that so
signature
bad.
Black Flame Ball celebrating 30 years of the cult classic Hocus Pocus is returning to Salem this year.
Uh-oh.
And how many of you are
Yeah,
fans
New
of
York.
Disney Channel's Halloween Town?
I wanted to go to that one too.
Well, we are going to Halloween Town itself, St. Helens, Oregon, this year to celebrate the film's 25th anniversary and showing it in the very theater that the film takes place in. That's going to be pretty cool. Tickets are on sale now. And you don't want to miss our Nightmare Before Christmas 30th anniversary celebration,
theater.
appropriately taking place on Friday the 13th of October at the El Capitan Theater in Hollywood.
Okay.
But there's one event this year that I'm particularly excited about.
Yes, this is the one I
You
wanted.
thought this weekend was the biggest fan event of the year? Well, in October,
I need
we will
tickets for this one.
celebrate Disney's official 100-year anniversary at the very location where Walt created the magic, the Walt Disney Studios lot.
This is the one I've been waiting to hear about.
D23 Royal Anniversary Ball will be the celebration of the century. We are doing it the way only Disney can, with an elegant affair created just for Disney royalty,
Sounds
our
like it's gonna be
D23 members.
expensive.
So get ready to don your best attire, walk down the royal carpet, enjoy some magical entertainment, greetings from our royal Disney characters, other special guests, and you're going to see the real crown jewels, coaches, gowns, and tiaras from
That's
the
gonna
Walt
sell
Disney
out in a
archives.
minute.
And there's going to be so much more. It's really going to be a special evening. Find more
When is
details
it?
on d23.com today, and tickets go on sale on Tuesday.
Oh, you
We hope to
bastard.
see you there Sunday evening, October 15th at the Walt Disney Studios lot in Burbank.
We're going to be there.
So as you can see, we've
Yeah,
been
you're
delivering
gonna be in
more of
town.
what you want.
Hey.
And looking ahead to 2024, we'll be celebrating D23's 15th anniversary. And I know most of you are expecting
I
it
love
to
the
be
10-year
a year for another
Yeah.
D23 Expo. How many of you attended D23 Expo
Yes!
in the past?
We're gonna get an
Oh, wow. Quite a few of you out there. I love that. Well, last year's Expo was the official kickoff to Disney's 100-year celebration. So we went big. Then we thought, how do we top that, right? So what we decided to do is we're going to bring all the things you love about D23 Expo, the exhibits, the shows, the shopping, and take it to a whole new level.
What are you doing, Michael?
It's no longer just an expo, but a Disney fan experience like no other. Are you ready? All right. It's D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, coming to coming to Anaheim, California, August 2024.
Hey, happy birthday to
Now,
me.
we're not only back at
it
the
is
Anaheim
your
Convention
birthday.
Center, but we are expanding the event to a variety of locations with multiple days of Disney fan fun and special events happening throughout the entire week.
Oh no,
And
they're
guess
gonna
what?
turn it into Comic-Con.
We're also going to Disneyland. So on Thursday, August 8th, we will officially kick off the D23 celebration at Disneyland Resort. From morning until late night, you'll get to have fun with fellow fans at our D23 takeover of the happiest place on earth.
What?
Now,
oh wow,
that's going to be a lot of fun. There's more. We know we all love those presentations in the big hall D23, right? But wouldn't you love to see them without the long lines and the stress of even wondering if you're going to make it in or not? Now, I know some of you love staying overnight in the lines, and but we're going to take each evening over the course of the weekend, the 9th through the 11th of August, and we're going to take our biggest stage there, and we're going to move it down the street to an even bigger stage, the Honda Center.
Oh my
Which
God.
is one of the premier entertainment and sports venues in the country.
That's different.
Wow.
Creating even more energy and memorable performances
Wow.
like never before. So you can enjoy daytime fun at the Anaheim Convention Center and then head over to the Honda Center for the evening entertainment.
Wow.
All of your
Oh
favorites
my
will be there.
God.
Are they going to shuttle
Even
us over
earlier
there?
in the week, we're going to take D23 to the ball game. And on Sunday, August 4th, we have a special D23 day that will take place at the Angels and Mets game at the glorious Angel
God.
Stadium in Anaheim.
Okay,
It's
no
going to be an
Con for
epic
me
week,
this year.
and there's going to be more fan fun
No,
that
your
we are
birthday's
going
gonna
to
be
be
spent
announcing
here.
throughout the week. So I'm so excited to bring to
Week
you
long in Anaheim.
D23, the ultimate Disney fan event
Oh my gosh.
for the biggest Disney fans next summer. Now, tickets go on sale next spring. More details to come, so be sure to stay connected with us on social media and at d23.com.
Which
All
means
right?
they're going to sell out.
That's
quicker 'cause they're-
enough about
Oh,
us
that
for
thing's gonna
now.
go
We have an
insane.
amazing lineup for all of you, so let's get back at it and enjoy the
Michael
rest of the
Vargo,
day.
what are you doing?
We'll see you soon.
So it's no longer an expo. So we learned about
No,
this.
yeah, it's now full on blown San Diego Comic Con, which is
Yeah.
insane and the hardest thing to get into.
Huh. Well,
Mhm.
I mean, it wasn't the best run event the last few times I've gone. So we'll see if they can spread it out, make it a little better. But
Yeah, I wonder if going to the Honda Center does make it better. I don't know.
again, it's not like it's really walking distance, you know. So it's kind of a
No,
weird
it's
thing
not.
to have that many people go down there, unless it's going to be a separately ticketed event. I don't know.
Don't put that idea in their head, Kevin.
I'm sure they've already had it.
Yeah, I missed the D23 magazine interaction, but I did get my magazine yesterday.
Oh,
Yes,
they did say
Firewall.
that they were. It said
Yeah,
that
you
there's
scan
a
the
QR
code.
code. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, it's Becky.
that's
Everyone.
nice.
I even know the lyrics to that song. Hey, it's so good to see all of you out here today. And there's so many of you, my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am going to talk to you a little bit today about the early ears, pun intended, about Mickey and Oswald a little
Oh,
bit.
man.
And of course, Ub Iwerks. Now,
My
Ub
throat
was
is
one of the
blowing up.
people that is so integral to the history of the Walt Disney Company. And we hear a lot about the early years with Walt and Roy, but we don't hear so much about Ub. So we thought it would be fun to focus on his contributions early in the history of the Walt Disney Company. So this subject is near and dear to my heart, and of course I could speak about it all day, but I thought it would be really fun, and I had an extra chair, so I thought it would be really fun to bring out somebody who is very, very familiar with all of the things I just mentioned, and a dear friend. So I please welcome to join me here on stage the world-renowned filmmaker. She made films like The Hand Behind the Mouse, Story of Ub Iwerks, and of course The Imagineering Story, which you can watch on Disney+.
Leslie's
Please
coming.
welcome Ub's granddaughter, Leslie Iwerks.
I forgot about the Pixar story.
Imagineer was bigger.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. It's so exciting. It's so great to have you here.
Thank
And
you.
I
Likewise.
couldn't think of anybody else that would know as much as you do on this subject and have such a personal connection. So I thought it'd be really fun to have Leslie here today.
How long is this
So,
one?
let's just jump right in and talk about first
Well, the
where it all
time
started, which was
allotted.
Ub and Walt's relationship.
Yep.
And
Was-
they met, of course, in Kansas City, working at the Kansas City Film Ad Company, and became dear friends.
It's
And
supposed to be
they had a really
10:55 to 11:15.
So, Leslie, you want to talk a little bit about kind of the yin and yang of Walt and Ub and what made their
So
partnership?
I'm probably going to hang on here till
Yeah,
about
so, you know,
8:45 at the latest.
Walt and Ub met in what, 1918?
Gotta
in
get
Kansas
ready for a
City,
baseball game,
Missouri.
Star
They
Wars
were both
night at the Giants with
teenagers,
Alex.
And I think
So
that they had this really
we're leaving early.
natural
That's fine.
destination
And
for
Courtney's going to see the
animation.
Jonas
We're making
Brothers.
things
I
move.
am.
Ed was very
I have
much
a
into
concert at
the
Dodger
technical
Stadium.
side of things, and Walt was very interested in animation. And this teamwork between those two, you know, one being more technically oriented and one being more of a storyteller and a gag man and an ultimate entrepreneur, you know, a real showman at the beginning.
Yeah.
These guys just had a blast. And when you look at those early cartoons, you know that they were just having fun and making things up as they went along.
Absolutely. And yeah, it was very kind of seat of your pants, kind of just whatever worked and whatever made you laugh, you put down on a piece of celluloid. So that's really funny. Do you have any stories from your family that might have been passed down about the relationship with Ub and Walt, or just?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot. It depends on which era we're talking about. But you know, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Ub and Walt had their own production company, very short-lived, but it was called the iWorks Disney Company. And this business was called IWWERKS / Disney. And a lot of people are like, well, why the two W's? Well, UB's original name was UBBE, IWWERKS, and there was a lot of circles when you had to sign your name. And Walt at this point they were at the film ad, and Walt was practicing Walter E. Disney, Walt Disney, Walter Elias Disney. And apparently, according to my grandmother, that Walt asked Ub, he said, which name do you like for me? Walt or Walter or Walter E. or what? And Ub says, I like Walt. And he said, look, if you shorten your name to Walt, I'll shorten my name to UBIWERKS. And sure enough, he did when he went out to California. So that's the origin of the way it's spelled now.
But Walt always called him Ubby, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He always
whole
called him
life?
Ubby.
Ubby.
This is like his nickname for him, Ubby.
Ubby, your friend Ubby, when
Yeah.
he'd write to him. I
Yeah.
always thought that was so charming. This is a great
And
image
these
of
are
the two
normally
of
like
them.
the good
And then we have
panels.
a
The best
really
panels
great
at
one here
D23
from
Expos are these
Kansas City, from the
intimate
Kansas City
ones.
Film Ad Days.
Yeah.
And that, of course, is Ub, Walt, and one of the Harmons. I think it's Fred Harmon, but I'm not sure. And so these guys, you know, really worked hard in Kansas City. But then, of course, Walt Disney decided to take a chance and move to Hollywood. And you know, he left and came west. And Ub stayed there in Kansas City for a while. This is a fun shot that Leslie just shared with me. I'd never seen it before. It was him on a motorcycle, which is a very rare piece of equipment then.
Yeah, and I don't, what was it, 1956 it says on it. Was it?
Oh, this was later? This is a later one?
I'm trying to read that on the rear tire, but.
Well, I know he had a motorcycle early on, and then he had another one later.
This is the same day as that other shot I think we just showed, but I don't know what the number means. But anyway, he was always into like transportation, cars, motorcycles, engines, you
Things
know,
that ran.
anything that moved, he could figure it out. I mean, he would take apart a car in his later years, take apart an engine and rebuild it, like put it all back together again. He just had this mechanical mind.
I think he was a technical genius, frankly. I really think, as Walt was a creative genius and had such an imagination, but I think Ub was also that, but also had a really technical mind.
Totally.
And
absolutely. I mean, it's rare when you hear about people that have the right brain and the left brain working like equal, you know, they're usually one or the other, but he was totally both.
That's wonderful. So let's move ahead a little bit to here in Hollywood. Now, of course, Ub joined the Disney brothers in Hollywood to work on the Alice comedies at Walt's invitation. And Ub decided to take the jump and came out west to join Walt here and start another cartoon
Trying to
studio.
social
It was
media
their
at the
third,
same
I
time
think,
as
at that
well.
point.
I
And
know.
it must have been a really overwhelming
I
thing.
need to
I'm
do that
wondering,
afterwards.
you know, how do you think that Walt convinced Ub to come out here? What do you think it was that did that?
Yeah, so the famous letter Walt wrote to Ub, you know, inviting him to come out. It was not inviting him, it was telling him, like, you need to come out to California. He said, I wouldn't live now in Kansas City if you gave me the place. I just sold this Alice in Cartoonland series to MJ Winkler. And you read this letter, and he was the ultimate convincer. You know, he would convince you in this letter. Like, you know, he was a salesman in a sense, but he was real. He was like, we need you. And at this point, Ub's father had already abandoned his family. Like, he was the only son, and he basically left. And so Ub had to drop out of high school to take care of his mother. And at this point, he was working all these jobs just to keep things afloat. And when their businesses kind of went out, you know, like one after the other, Laugh-O-Grams, and then he goes out to California, I think that was a risk for Ub, you know? But at the same time, what was there in Kansas City anymore? So of course it's all going on in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So he left to go out to California and got Virginia Davis's parents' car and drove it out with his mother. And you look at these photographs of the drive out. That was his mother, and they took that what is that, Model T Ford?
I think it was supposed to be a Cadillac.
Cadillac. That's right. It was a
Yeah,
Cadillac,
it was a
and
Cadillac.
that was my grandfather's mother. And when you look back on the next slide, you think about what the endless roads were like. This one in particular is my
Kevin,
favorite.
have you
I've got
guys
it
been to the
blown
Walt
out
Disney
really
Family
big,
Museum?
framed in my living room, and it's just this symbol
Yeah,
of
we
the
have been.
endless roads at that
Okay.
point.
We've also been to
of
Marceline's.
opportunity.
Oh, awesome.
And
Yeah, this
who-
just gives me
who
that
would
whole
have
vibe.
thought that
The
on
early
this
days of
drive
the
out, he
museum.
was about to do Oswald the Lucky Rabbit,
Yeah,
Mickey
definitely.
Mouse, and then be part of this venture with Walt that would
It's a great
change the
museum.
world.
Like both of them are pretty
And here we
interesting. I
are,
don't know if you've been
all
to Marceline or no.
because of
No, I've
Walt,
been wanting to. I had a friend
So it's
at a
really
Portland
crazy, huh?
Disneyana group that he did scale model at
Now here's another
Disneyland.
shot that you were
And when he
wearing,
passed
because we were
away,
trying to
they
figure out where this
donated
was.
it
And
to
you said,
the
where did you see?
museum
You know,
there.
it's hard to
Yeah,
tell
I
what that
think
is.
I've been wanting to
saw
get
it.
there
We've
for
been there a
years.
few years ago.
Hills.
Yeah.
It's up on Mulholland overlooking the valley.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that he took this, he documented his whole trip out
cool.
and took photos. And I think this is looking out over the valley, Mulholland Drive, going over to Los Feliz, Hollywood to meet up with Walt.
Pretty cool. So actually, and Laura got there and joined Walt at the studio. And these are some really fun pictures that Leslie had that show, of course, Walt had gotten married at that point to Lillian, and met his Mildred, eventually his wife.
Yep.
And so they kind of socialized together and did some fun things. These are some photos of them on a trip to Santa Barbara.
Yeah, so they would do these weekend road trips together, and look at them in their dapper suits. They would get dressed up and go up there, and what's
I just
cool
love
about the
these
shot on the
old-time
left
photos.
is that it looks like Walt's taking the photo, because you can see the shadow on the road, and it looks like his hat.
Yeah, it looks like his hat.
So that's a really cool shot of Walt Disney taking a photo of my grandparents.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, couldn't we all wish we had that?
Yeah.
Walt took that
But
picture of my
another
grandpa.
cool story here is that I have the original. He gave for their wedding. Walt gave my grandparents a beautiful set of gold stemware.
Oh, nice.
And so I have that in. We pull it out at Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Oh, that's
And
great.
if anyone breaks one glass, you are fired. You're out.
Oh.
Well, I'll be coming over and I'll be careful.
Okay, good.
So we're going to go back a little bit in time. This is the Alice comedies, which was the first series that they started with. Of course, that led to Oswald and Mickey eventually. But I just want to show some kind of fun photos here. This is Walt Disney, of course, in the hat on one side. Ub Iwerks in the hat on the other side. And in between is Rudy Ising and Hugh Harman, who were two of their best animators, who also came out from Kansas. So this was around 1924 through 26 when they were doing the Alice comedies.
I just love the outfits, the short ties.
Yes.
I just want that style to come back.
Isn't that great? And this is a really fun photo. This one you can see Ub is up on top of the ladder. So you can see that he clowned around a bit, just like the others. And of course, Rudy, and that's Walt on the left with a knife. Maybe we should move on. Yeah.
Yeah. A precursor of things to
come. But yes, of course, Oswald then appeared, and I think we've told the story before about Margaret Winkler and her husband Charlie Mintz and how they lost Oswald. But it was a really interesting thing that at that time, not only did Walt have to deal with going back to New York and finding out that he didn't own the rights to Oswald and had to kind of give up the character and figure out what to do next. But at the same time,
Yes, Kimberly. Sean's birthday bash is on the 24th. Well, he'll be there all week, but on the 24th.
Thank you. I'm missing the question.
So I've got the wind that Charles Mintz had secretly
Kelly
sent
and I will be
away,
in the park
the
on
other
the 24th.
animators at the studio, and they all were going to defect. And so I've had a decision that he was offered to leave as well, and he had a decision to make. And I think, he just felt like there's no way I'm going to abandon Walt at this point. You don't kick a guy while he's
someone's
down.
got to come back from
when he's invited
Hawaii
you out
late
and has this
Saturday.
dream
Yeah.
to make the ultimate animated cartoon series and the animated character. So in a way, I think it was equally as devastating to Ub that this character that he created with Oswald, with Walt, was taken away. I mean, it's like losing a child in a way. You know what I mean? Like, you've created this thing. So So I think he felt
I'm just
very
curious to see what the
determined
people's comments are real quick. So I'm just gonna
to
go
work
to
with
that.
Walt to come up with something new that they could now call their own and not be a work for hire, so to speak. And lesson learned there. Walt would never not own his own character again. So I think, you know, for Ub to sit in that room for what, 2 weeks and literally behind a locked door animate the first Mickey Mouse cartoon playing crazy, you know, at the rate of 700 drawings a day. It was
Okay, nothing
insane
interesting.
how fast he worked to create to come up with the character. So what the story is from our side is Walt would always say that, you know, Walt was on a train back and he got wind of this.
I always love this picture of Ub.
And while he was on the train,
It's a
Ub
good
came
one.
up with
Yeah.
a number of different characters. And one was a mouse, one was a horse collar, a cow who would become Clarabelle Cow, and one was a frog, which became his cartoon when he left Disney, called Flip the Frog. So he took the frog with him later. But the idea that he had a number of designs that
Flip the Frog, is
Walt would
that the
come back
WB
and
one?
look at and said, I like the mouse.
What's his called?
And you
I
know,
don't
it was also
remember what
based
his
on a
name
number
is.
of influences of other mice that they had seen through the years and whatnot. But
Yeah, and Walt used to tell a story
I
about
just
having a
said
pet
flip.
mouse when he was back in Kansas City, and I think Ub mentioned that he called him Mortimer, or he, you know, mentioned that he already knew that Walt liked mice.
yeah. And but
So this goes back to Lewis's
there were
question,
other
like,
mice around, like in the
who would
Alice
you
City
pick, Walt
mice
or
and, you know,
Mickey?
other ones.
The other
Yeah,
night,
Walt.
and
Other
we had
cartoons, but
Horace, we had
nothing was as
Clarabelle,
cute as
and the
Mickey
frog.
with the
So
round ears,
yeah,
the round
Walt
nose,
love
the
Mickey,
devilish
but
personality,
definitely
you know,
Walt.
the sort of rascally kind of character, and also I think this sort of very fluid look, you know, that was rounded. It was a rounded style, and he had this really fast way of filling in the lines inside the mouse, you know, and that's how you can tell Ub's styles, this kind of just quick line drawing inside. But everything was very fast, and he used a lot of animation techniques to kind of do it quicker, you know, like you don't need to keep animated the same arm. You would just, you know, do it once.
Yeah, and he was drawing 700 drawings a day, so he would know. He would know how to make
That
it
is a
happen
lot, bro.
quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think doing that, Ub added a lot of personality and the charm
Yeah.
that we know as Mickey to it, which made him so popular. And of course, the addition of sound. When they did Steamboat Willie, made him an overnight sensation. But I think people would have, even as a silent character, I think people would have really fallen in love with Mickey.
For sure. I mean, Playing Crazy. I mean, how many of you all seen Playing Crazy? Right?
I have.
I mean, to me, that's like the best Disney Mickey Mouse cartoon because he was pure Mickey. You know, he was raw and, you know, a little rascally. Obviously, he's trying to kiss Minnie and stuff. But, you know, like that's Mickey Mouse. That's the original Mickey. And he became very different as he got older, you know, much more responsible.
Much more.
But I personally like this one. And I think it brings out Ub's personality a lot. I think Ub was very, very funny and had a lot of a very quirky sense of humor.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
In fact, I was going to mention that is that this is an earlier picture from the Alice comedies. You can see Ub there clowning next to Walt under the umbrella, and people I think get the idea that he was a straight man or that he was very serious.
Yeah.
And I think in later years he was more serious, but I think when he was young, these guys were in their 20s and they were having a good time.
Yeah.
And he clowned around a lot, so he had a great sense of humor. Let's move on here to talk a little bit quickly about some of Ub's hobbies.
Kept flying through this because the park panel went over so
He
much.
loved games. So he was an archer. He loved restoring old cars, and as I said, restoring the
Back
engine.
then, isn't
and
that a new
rebuilding
car?
them again. He built a boat from scratch.
Yeah, he
a
was
sailboat
like,
from scratch, and got it out of the garage by like 1/8 of an inch. He built
What?
it to
Walt
absolute
Tyus?
spec that he knew he could get it out, and it floated. It worked.
Yeah, my mom does the same thing with her T-bird.
Creating things and
She made
always
sure
built a
she could
perfect
get that
game
car
of
in the
bowling.
garage.
So once he did it, he put the ball in the closet and never bowled again.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, so that was kind of his thing. Just accomplish something and move on to the next one.
Fascinating. Well, he also then, of course, came back to the studio in 1940. So he was gone for about 10 years, started his own studio, had his own characters, and then decided to come back to what was going on in Burbank with Walt and Roy. And they loved having him back. They immediately used his technical skills to work on things like the multi-plane camera.
Yep.
He had this amazing, and you'll hear more about all of this a little later, but he was a genius and did such amazing things like the processes, the traveling sodium traveling map process and the Circarama, the 360 degree. He was the one who figured out how to mount 11 cameras on a airplane and on a air balloon and all kinds of things, and did some wonderful, wonderful things. So he was a technical marvel.
And the animation Xerox process that
Yes.
literally saved Disney animation with
Exactly.
101 Dalmatians. So
Yeah.
he was always thinking about ways in which you could really improve the film and animation process.
And all of these processes that he created were actually used across the whole film industry. So he revolutionized the film industry in many ways.
He did.
With the Wetgate.
Yeah, the Wetgate printer.
Yeah, he did some really incredible things, and all the way up through Mary Poppins, having the penguins dance with Bert.
Right.
That was all Abiworks, and the True Life Adventures. If you look, there's always a credit for special processes by Abiworks on there. So he was really integral even after coming back in the 40s.
And he worked on the birds. Hitchcock,
Oh, yes.
He was loaned out by Hitchcock to do the special effects for the birds. So
Yeah, that I would love to hear more about that. We'll have to have a
Anyway.
special program just about
that's
that.
a different studio. Sorry.
Yeah. But we love that movie too.
We don't talk about
So
that studio.
this is one of my favorite photos that you shared. This is so
Aw.
cute. This is
Aw.
and the apple of his eye, his little granddaughter Leslie Iwerks.
Oh, everybody say ah.
So now, one of your earliest films was writing, directing, and producing the fantastic documentary that I mentioned earlier, "The Hand Behind the Mouse," the Iwerks story.
Thank you.
Which you should watch if you can get a chance to see it. Please do. It's wonderful. And also, you wrote a book with the same title. Yeah, which is great. And those explore many of your grandfather's creative contributions to Disney. And then I just wanted to find out, what kind of things, what tidbits that you learned about when you were researching and making those documentaries and books. What did you learn about that surprised you? Anything of interest that?
Well, outside of just pressure, like, okay, how do you ever live up to this guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had accomplished so much at such a young age. And I think, as you grow up in a family where, there's somebody that's a father figure or a mother figure who are pretty well known or, kind of famous or accomplished, you kind of feel a little, competitive, like, oh my God, I got to live up to that. But after a certain point, you go, you know what? It was a different era. It was a different time. They had different opportunities that we don't have today. And I think, the opportunity for me to go to USC Film School and realize, okay, I have a now or never moment to tell his story in a way that only I could tell it, because I had heard all these stories from the family that were different from the books I was reading by biographers and whatnot. And so I thought, I went to Roy E. Disney and I said, would you consider allowing me to tell the story of Iwerks? And he said, absolutely. And he goes, let me talk to Michael Eisner. And then sure enough, they funded this film. And it allowed me to travel around the world and show it to film festivals and expose him to a lot of different audiences who weren't aware of him. So I think for me, it was just an opportunity to really, let his story inspire others as it inspired me and allowed me to get to know him through this project, through this journey, retracing their steps.
And you became a very famous documentarian, and you're still making wonderful things, and we'll be sharing more. So you'll get to see more of Leslie throughout the weekend and learn more about her history with Disney, and especially with Imagineering.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful series.
Imagineering panel leader.
Loving that so much. So I just wanted to wrap up by saying
They
that
really
Ub
blew
was
through
an
that one.
unparalleled animator.
Right?
And an
Yeah, I'm
inventor.
telling you.
And of course, the Walt Disney Company clearly wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the efforts of your grandfather, Ub. And he's been recognized by the company through the Disney Legends program and by his window on Main Street at Disneyland. So thank you, Leslie, for joining me and sharing your
Thank
memories.
you.
And I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Michael's sitting back there going, Josh, you did it again. Well, that's interesting.
everyone, please welcome actress, author, entrepreneur, and founder of Her Universe, Ashley Eckstein.
Hello, everyone. Are you excited to be at Destination D23? What
Okay, I'm calling 15 more minutes, give or take.
me, this is about to be a lot of
I knew you weren't going to leave without seeing
welcome
her.
to the 100 years of classic characters, unforgettable stories panel. This is going to be so much fun for everyone, including myself, because I love Disney history.
And I just
that's
want
why
to
I love this event,
say,
because we
Leonard
found out.
Maltin had a great interview with Leslie Iwerks on his podcast like a year ago. So check it out, Maltin at the movie.
So without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage our superstar panelists. And we're going to start with a Disney legend. He's the voice of Goofy and Pluto. Please help me welcome to the stage, Bill Farmer. Next up, we have the official voice of Mickey Mouse, Brett Iwan.
Yes.
I love their friendship. They're so good.
Me and Brett have the same haircut.
Thank God for that. And finally, making her Destination D23 debut, please welcome to the stage the voice of Minnie Mouse, Caitlin Robrock.
This is the new Minnie Mouse.
Okay, I think y'all can do better than that. Let's hear it for our amazing panelists.
It's because nobody
Thank
knows it, because
you,
Rusty
thank
Taylor
you.
did it so long.
Okay, so we have a lot to cover today.
I saw
because,
Brett at StocktonCon a couple years ago, just a week after Ruthie passed. So he
First
was
up, let's talk about how I did
nice
not
little
approve
stories.
that picture that's behind me right now.
Let's see.
I do not like
Oh
that.
my gosh, that was 30 years ago for me.
I mean,
I'm
perfect. I'm fine.
you look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
that kind of sets up one of the things we're going to talk about, because you all have been voicing your characters for a long time. And and Caitlin, you're fairly new. We're going to get to that in a
Yeah.
second. But part of what makes these characters so iconic is once there's been very few people that have filled the shoes of your classic characters. So as a Disney fan, it's truly an honor to be chatting with you all today.
And real quick, I just love how Ashley's kind of become a fan's ambassador for not just Star Wars, but Disney as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Her and Brett together are great.
With a mouse. So I
What else has Ashley done other than the voice of Ahsoka?
character more iconic.
She's the creator of Her Universe. She, well, you know what? She was in That's So Raven as
Yeah.
Muffy. So she was an actual
Disney fan,
actress.
so I know it is a
Awesome.
huge honor for you.
But yeah, the
to
big thing was
fill
Her
Mickey's
Universe
iconic
just
yellow shoes.
changing
So what
fashion
does it
for
mean to
fans.
you to be the
Mostly
voice of
female
Mickey
fans, but a lot of
Mouse?
male fans too.
Like I've missed that whole movement.
You do remind me of that often. I'm not sure I want to be reminded of that pressure all the time, because it truly is, as big of a fan as I am, I think that is the reason why I do feel a lot of pressure. There's a lot of responsibility, and I think we all agree with the word responsibility when it comes to these characters. They're not fleeting characters that are going to be on a TV show for a few seasons and disappear. These characters have a history, a legacy, and our role truly is to play a part in preserving that legacy for however long we get to. Ultimately, we're all just kind of a small part of that. And I love to share that, there's an interview that the second voice of Mickey Mouse, Jimmy McDonald, was sitting with Wayne Allwine shortly after Wayne Allwine had assumed the role. Wayne was the third voice, my predecessor. He had done it for 32 years before I stepped into the role. But when he was recording Mickey's Christmas Carol, Jimmy McDonald said to him, "Remember, kid, you're only filling in for the boss." And that's something that I try to think about every time I go into the recording studio, because I'm only filling in for the boss being Walt Disney, the original voice of Mickey Mouse. So yeah, there's pressure, but there's also honor. There's so much joy and fun that I derive from getting to be a part of this legacy, not just because it's a really cool thing to do, but because I know how much Mickey and these characters mean to all of you, to the world, really. These characters are very unique in that sense.
So, Bill, I want to come to you because you have been voicing Goofy and Pluto for nearly 4 decades.
I know. A long time. I'm still yuck. Yeah, that's the way it's going to sound
Well,
in a couple
you
of years.
started when you were 2 years old, so. But
I
how
love
have
his
you
shirt.
taken inspiration from the past to your voice present, and then also how have you made it your own?
Okay, over the years, you have to kind of, meld yourself into the character a little bit and kind of give to the character maybe some facets that it didn't have before. Although you have to, as mentioned, you've got to uphold the legacy of the character. When I did the audition for Goofy, Goofy was my favorite character growing up. And so I was familiar with the voice and I practiced it and ran around the table and, gosh, Mom, is dinner ready? And Dad would say, something's wrong with that boy. And, no, he was my favorite. And so there are different types of characters. There's ones that have a legacy, that have a past that you're stepping into, and you have to honor that legacy and be as close to the
Yeah,
original
Rachel
as you
Ziegler.
can and give it some of your qualities. Where other ones, you just get to come up with a voice on the spur of the moment, and what it is sticks. And but the audition for Goofy was very easy. I just had to do a cartoon,
Look
a
how
little
rad that shirt is.
driving cartoon. Looping is what we
Oh,
call
it's
it.
Goofy
We
right there.
added some dialogue to an existing
Coating and
cartoon,
pineapples.
and I had one line of dialogue, and it was terrifying to do. But that was back in January of 1987, and now after 36 years of doing it, you have to take the character and add things to it. When we did a Goofy movie, we added a nurturing father to that. In Goof Troop, it was kind of a more Saturday morning style, so it was much higher energy. With the Mickey's Fun House, it's for the younger audience, so it's a little gentler. On the Mickey shorts, it's kind of a wackier style. So every project has its own vibe, and you just kind of change the character a little bit, but still keep it true to heart.
Now, you recently shared this past week, because the three of us just got off of the DVC member cruise, and I just love this story. If you could share with
Life's
us
rough.
how you became the voice of Pluto.
Well, the Pluto just came about as there was no real audition. It was, I think, my very first audition, or actually job, which was called Disney's Doggone Valentine, and they had a scene of Pluto barking, but they hadn't really done an audition for the voice, and so it was like, "Can you bark?" And I, whoa, and they liked it, and that's kind of how I got to do it in that first job. And it just stuck. And now 36 years later, I'm still barking.
I just remember you saying that there was other people in the room and they had a bark off.
Yeah, we did have a bark off. So it's like, you bark. Whoa, 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 whoa. And I like that one. Okay, that's it. And that was about the whole extent of it.
That is awesome. I just loved hearing that story. Thank you.
Didn't have a Waltz apartment
as I mentioned, you're the new kid
bark
on the
off.
block.
Bark
I
off.
am. And I've had the pleasure of getting to know Caitlin, and Minnie Mouse is just truly in her soul. And there's just no one better to fill Minnie's iconic heels. So I'm thrilled for everyone to get to know you more and more. But it means a lot to you to step into Minnie's heels. So tell us, what does that mean to be up here on this stage as the official voice of Minnie Mouse?
It really is like the dream come true, and it was something I had thought of for 15 years or so. And the very first piece of media I can even remember watching ever on television was Totally Minnie back in the 80s.
Who remembers Totally Minnie?
Right? Applause even if you don't.
She had a whole decade, y'all.
We're starting to date ourselves with that reference.
It was like one of the novelty
I was in
albums
that
in the
show.
80s.
He
There's
was
a
in
parade.
that show.
But they had like little
Dancing with Robert
intercuts
Carradine.
on Disney
But
Channel.
Yeah.
So Minnie was a huge draw
Kevin's like, no.
forever since I was a kid, and I worked at Disneyland.
Yeah, I didn't have
for
Disney
2
Channel as a kid,
decades,
so I missed
and
it.
so I was with Minnie herself.
I only had it on
in
the free
theme park,
preview
and I
weekend.
saw how much she meant to all of our guests, and it's that
Best weekend of the
midway
year.
point of watching your media and meeting them to tell them how you feel. And we were watching the Christmas parade one year, and Minnie was ice skating, and she said her line, and I just kind of goofed around and said it at the same time. And a coworker's like, "You sounded just like her. That's really creepy." But he meant it in such a kind and gentle way. And so I just thought, well, I don't know. I just kind of started paying attention, and any media that would come out, listen to it, repeat it back. YouTube is your friend. You'll find so many things, including Totally Minnie on it, just so y'all know. And I just practiced and practiced, but I kind of kept it to myself because I didn't want to like jinx myself.
Great duet with Minnie Mouse and Elton John. Don't go breaking my heart.
If you have a rough day, like, I don't know, one day things might be different. We'll wait for that day. And then the day came, and I was terrified, but so exhilarated at the same time.
Well, literally, you all are so incredible. And I think I've spent the past week with them all, and one theme that is with each of you is that you had an affinity for these characters long before you ever became the voice. And it's truly like these characters are in your heart and soul, and you were born to play these characters, which is really just inspiring. I think we all care so deeply about these characters, and I can tell you it's so cool to know them and know how not only do they bring voice to the characters, but then they live these characters. So Brett, as your proud hype friend, not only do you voice Mickey, but then you continue to carry on Mickey's legacy, as all three of you do, outside of the recording studio. What are some of the other things that you do other than voice Mickey?
Oh my gosh. Well, I love the way you said that, because I've never thought about it this way, but we are kind of character ambassadors, and I think that's a goal of all of ours, is to represent these characters well. And so thanks to my close relationship with Mickey, I've just met so many amazing people throughout the company, and I've had so many amazing opportunities thanks to that. As you just saw, I was asked to do Mickey's official birthday portrait, which I'd be lying if I said I wasn't choking back tears in that reveal. So it's a big deal to me. I've also designed parks merchandise alongside you.
Really?
I've had the chance to do a lot of stuff for D23 in terms of art and design. And although I can't reveal all the details, I'm actually working on a project with publishing right now. So, I keep getting surprised by all the opportunities that this role provides and has given me. I feel so lucky and so blessed to get to do what I do. But again, everything I do, I just try to put on that hat of I'm having fun so that everyone else can have fun too.
Yeah, and I think character ambassadors you're not just the voice. They are not just the voice of these classic characters. They're truly ambassadors, both in the recording studio and out of the recording studio. But I want to go back into the recording studio for a second. So we only have a couple minutes left. But I know what it's like inside the studio, and it's a lot of fun. Trust me, some of my favorite moments are when we record. I want to hear about the superstitions, the routines, the quirks. What do you do pre-record, post-record? Do you have any little quirks and superstitions?
Well, to do Goofy, I just get drunk. So no, I don't. That'll be online before long. Hey, he gets drunk.
Bill, this is being live streamed right now, so we can't go back. We'll be right back after this.
No, you gotta warm up your voice when you go to a session. So I'm usually singing in the car or just doing a voice that I've heard.
Double Jack and Coke.
And now it's time for this, and that, and you just do the voices and loosen up the instrument, really. So that's about all I do. And then I get in there, and you never know, because you just get the script. And a lot of times we don't get the script ahead of time. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And you go, oh, I'll do that, and you just kind of go with it, really.
All right, I love it. Brett, what about you?
Well, we can infer what Bill does after a session as well, thanks to his first answer.
I told you we were going to have fun.
What do I do? Gosh, I mean, people backstage were just looking at me as they turned the corner. I'm going, I woke up this morning singing
Mousker, hey, Mousker, hi, Mousker, ho, Mousker, ready, Mousker, set, here we go.
I usually figure if I can sing that, then I'm going to be okay. I do a lot of weird noises on the, and I sing along to whatever I'm listening to in the car ride. Lately, it's been Taylor Swift, so.
Love it. Caitlin, what about you?
Would you believe me if I said I also get drunk? Don't, because it's not true.
You don't want to drink alone, do you?
Oh my! Woo! I got.
This
I
is
have
the
a bit of
best
a
sound clip ever.
Right.
mocktails. I have a bit of a drive.
You should
when I
put that
commute,
with
'cause I
the
like
new
going into
style
the
of Goofy,
studios,
and then he's
and
really
I can
drunk.
record depends on the day. But I'll listen to the
Yeah.
radio or listen to like my favorite songs at the time just to warm up. Or if we have a song that we're singing that day in the session, I'll kind of review that song in my voice with Lala's and in Minnie's voice. Or I do the goose to make sure she's there. So oh, 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 like, various and sundries of how to, just so I know she's there. Like she'll be here. She's coming. She's still on the cruise. So
That last sound was when she sees Bill driving next to her on her commute in, and she's like,
and before that, it was Josh Strickland. Yeah. Oh, there he goes.
I feel so unprofessional
Tarzan.
because
Yeah.
y'all are mentioning how you're practicing before a record. I just go and eat cheeseburgers and then go right into the studio.
Probably the best.
The grease loosens up your throat.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
clinical.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, stick around because we have some more fun. But they're just going to go backstage one more time. Let's hear it for Bill, Brett, and
Gosh,
Caitlin.
thanks everyone.
See you
I don't
real
know if
soon.
how long has Caitlin been the voice of Minnie Mouse?
Probably since the Disney Junior stuff.
Okay,
probably.
as I mentioned, the fun is not over, and we have some surprise guests.
Uh-oh.
We have not one, but two more Disney legends joining us for this character panel.
bringing out
So
princesses.
please join me in
Wow.
welcoming the voice of Ariel. And
Yeah,
Jody.
Jody was on that cruise too. So
Yeah. Jody and Paige, or
maybe.
And producer and filmmaker, Don.
Don's there. That guy's great.
yeah.
Don's the best. I met him at the 10th anniversary D23 event that
Oh,
they did
I was
at
there
the
too.
studio. You were there?
Everybody.
Amanda and I were there at the same event. We talked to
On
him
the
as well.
rainy day that took
Jody,
us
how do
into
you
the
warm up
sound
in the
stages.
morning when you have a
He
recording
was just the
session?
best.
You know, I just hope that
I met
it
him at
shows up
one of
when
the
I get
investor
into the
call
studio,
meetings
that
in
voice is
Portland,
there.
but as a D23
I do a little bit
sneak
of
peek, I'm Maleficent. So he was there at a little
like
luncheon.
that. Yeah, it's fun.
I also
Yeah,
talked to him at
great.
the
My wife
barn.
doesn't.
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
barn.
Like the barn.
Listen, we're here to talk about.
He's very nice.
You have been on Broadway many times, and it is grueling. And your beginnings of your career were on Broadway, and you migrated towards Disney and towards animation. How did that all start?
Okay, so yes. I
Yeah, he's
started
taking
on
over
Broadway
now.
with a musical called
Yeah.
Smile with Howard Ashman and Marvin Hamlish. And they wrote, there were 20
So
people. that
I
saw the show.
really want to watch.
And,
it.
No.
woohoo! And,
But
they
I'm
wrote
going to have to get ready to get going.
Aw,
We'll
Jody.
get going to here. But it's so
But
fun,
I-
everybody.
No, yeah. So I want to do a proper send off. So if you guys want to watch this, definitely. If you're watching us instead of the mainstream, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah, but go
definitely
watch the mainstream now.
Yeah, this will be
Right.
on all day. They're going to get ready for lunch break, and they got some good stuff coming up throughout the day. I just want to thank, since they're not here right now, Lewis jumped in and Sean. So I want to thank Courtney and Kevin and Amanda, who was here earlier from We're in the
Yeah.
Park, and Courtney from Neverland Clubhouse. We're all kind of new podcast family. So I know Sean's already texted me about what we're going to do for D23. So there's some fun stuff happening in the Disney universe. And
We gotta
Walt
get
Disney.
tickets first.
Yeah, exactly. But
Right.
I
Figure out
want
what
to
it
thank you
even
guys for
is this
joining
year
in, and
or next year.
I know.
yeah, so yeah, we'll talk to you guys real soon, and everybody watching, thank you for watching and interacting, and hope you enjoy the rest of the stream at Disney D23's YouTube channel.